All right, how we all doing, folks? We are live at Bechtloff's Outpost. We're live, and it's a tense night. There's tension in the air. You see, the rumor has it Bechtloff's Outpost is going to be facing an attack from the north. Apparently, the Ooga Booga pagan tribe of the north. Well, they're not happy with me. It seems all my laughter fucks up their magic spells, and they're having none of it. So the rumor is that that they're coming for us.
Uh-oh.
They're coming for us. That's the rumor. Luke, could you throw up the background image of well, you know the one I told you, the pot. You know, throw that up. So, yeah, that's the rumor, folks. So we're hunkered down here at Bechtloff's Outpost. My body is ready. Indeed, my body is ready. We are ready here. I've got the good captain with me. He's with me. I've got a little bit of raspberry Coke. Not much of a Coke drinker, but they got this new raspberry Coke in a glass bottle with the real sugar and all. Good stuff. Good stuff. And it's we're excited. We're excited for tonight. It's tense. You know, it's tense. But we're ready. I've got, like I said, I got my raspberry Coke, got my captain, got a little bit of water. I never like to drink alcohol if I don't drink an extra amount of water. You know, I don't want to risk getting a headache the next day or something. I've never really drank enough to get a full-on hangover, but I can get like a migraine or something from it if I don't stay hydrated. And I got my Game Boy Advance with Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins in it, because I fully expect large portions of this to be boring as fuck. So, so we're ready. We're hunkered down. We're hunkered down. Luke, I threw you another image to throw up, by the way, and on the Skype stand. So we're ready. We're ready. Somebody in the chat, Zach the Bong Ripper says, I prefer the original Coke with cocaine. Where can I buy my soy fart candle? Or you can head over to freefolk.org and you can buy a natural musk soy candle. I'm not sure exactly what natural musk we've captured in this candle, but you can purchase one and find out. And I'm not sure when the fireworks are going to start, but we're ready. We got Luke here, so he's going to be able to play the sound for us, because otherwise I'd have to just yank my headphones out and let it go right to the mic, because I'm not reinstalling OBS. Fuck OBS. I fucking hate using OBS, especially when I have guests on.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I just fuck OBS, man. Somebody says Ian McDonald says, Bechtloff, if you get bored, try reading my story on Terror House. I don't know what to expect, honestly. I'm not 100% certain that this attack from the north is coming. It's just what I'm hearing. Just the rumor mill. So, you know, if you're catching this live, you might catch it the only time it's up, because if this turns out to be a big nothing burger, I might yank this right down. So we'll see. But yeah, the rumor is that the free folk, they're sick of my shit. They've had enough. They've had enough. Bechtloff, you have pointed and laughed at our holy, totally not religious, but very sacred, and you shouldn't point and laugh at it group. And they've had enough. And they're coming for me. They're coming for me. So we're hunkered down here at Bechtloff's Outpost. We're not going to fire till we see the whites of their eyes.
Any word on where it might possibly come from? Is it Davis's outpost or somewhere else?
I believe it's going to be Arini's outpost. Here, I'll send you the link. You can hop over there. I mean, that's the show tonight. So
yeah, the Twitch stream.
I was told the attack was coming Sunday night. That's what I was told. I see over at the other outpost. I received word that the Hadron Collider is welcoming the early listeners. We're hunkered down though, folks. We're ready for the attack. We're ready. Oh man.
Let's see what we got.
Somebody says, Bechtloff, what exactly did you do to piss them off? I didn't do nothing. I was a good boy. I was just on my way to church trying to get my life together. Somebody else asked, didn't Jim just do a Sunday Fun Day? I don't see the video on his channel. Jim never keeps the streams up on his channel. He always puts them up on the channel Hal, which used to be, I believe, the Brightside Bob channel where he used to make fun of DSP. So it should be up there, but sometimes he drags his feet on it, so you might not see it back up till, a couple hours from now. Watch as they try attacking me from the south to throw me off. Oh man, they might bring in who knows? Are there Mexican pagans left? I don't know. I thought they were Catholic down there. Are they like clinging to their Aztec religion? I'm not sure. But it's okay. We're hunkered down on all sides, people. We're ready for the attack. It's
quiet.
And it's about time somebody put that Bechtloff guy in his place. That guy's he's out there. He thinks he can just laugh at people that be fart huffing on the internet. Who the hell does he think he is? Somebody mentions Jim is on stream.me now. Yes, he's doing an art contest on there. My feelings would not at all be hurt if you decided to head over there, because this might be really exciting or this might be boring as fuck. So I don't know what to tell you. So we will definitely see. As for, again, what exactly did I do to piss them off? I pointed and laughed at them. That's what I did. I continued to point and laugh at them. And you could be like, well, Bechtloff, why did you keep doing that? Well, I mean, because they kept being really funny. Somebody says, sorry, Bechtloff, I got to go watch Jim. Hey, be my guest, man. I don't blame you.
Oh, Jim on stream, right?
Yeah, he's over on Streamy. I don't blame you. I'd be watching that right now, too, if not for... we're here at the Bechtloff's Outpost. We got to brace for impact. All right, we can't be watching that. But
I don't see anything.
I don't even know what it is. I don't even really. I've only been to Stream.me a couple of times. I'm so guilty of that. It's like I never follow people out of it. It takes a lot for me to follow somebody out of. No, that's on Twitch. He's on Stream.me.
Oh, Stream.me.
Yeah. So he says, watch as Davis ends up back at his old bar job in the Howard the Duck film. Somebody says, Arini the Christian is now pagan. Well,
yeah, he's still basically. Technically. Well, I was listening again to the original Moot, and it's still like he's mentioned how pagans and Catholics are coming together to work together.
He's an esoteric Catholic. He's Catholic, but what is the god he thinks that has blessed him because a dog bit his hand? Is it like Tur or Tor or something? There's some pagan god that I'm not making this up, by the way. It sounds like I'm making this up, but I'm not. He thinks that this pagan god, who he suspects is really a long-lost angel in Catholic mythology, has blessed him because the dog bit his hand. Like... I'm not making that up. I know it sounds like I'm making that up. It sounds like I'm making up some gay shit to make fun of him, but no, that's just some stuff he's about.
Well, Jim's having fun.
That's good. I'm glad to see it.
3,000 people. Oh, 4,000.
He brought 4,000 over to Stream.me. Good for him. And he didn't even get thrown off YouTube. He's doing the too hot for YouTube stuff over on Stream.me. Nostalgia Wound says this is really depressing. Why? What's wrong with you, Nostalgia Wound? Don't you understand you need to join a pagan cult to own the libs? You want to save the West or not? Somebody says, just noticed the stream started. What did I miss? Not much. We're just sitting here bullshitting. We've heard rumor that an attack from the north is coming, so we're bracing ourselves. Bechtloff, you could always stream snipe Jim. I don't want to do that to Jim. I like Jim.
Was there a stream snipe?
Yeah, I'm not stream. You only stream snipe shit if people are talking shit about you. Jim doesn't even know who I am. So, somebody says we're getting ready to see Irini's exposing of Bechtloff. Yeah, he's gonna put me in place. I don't know if you all knew this, but I'm kind of overweight, and I read comic books and I play Nintendo. I don't know if you all knew that, but I'm certain that's what he's gonna talk about. Or maybe this is gonna be a big nothing burger. I don't know. Maybe he's not even gonna mention me. Who knows? Maybe this is just his plan. This might be his brilliant plan to get his stream in front of a larger audience than it would normally have. You're going to make me sit through the whole thing waiting for him to talk about me. He doesn't talk about me at all. Maybe he's playing some ninth dimensional Candyland here. We don't know. Somebody asked, is the title of Irini's stream Hello Bechtloff? I don't believe it is. No. That would be perfect, but no, I don't believe it is. Are they going to attack with their hammer necklaces? Yes, I believe they are. They're going to swing them around to conjure up a thunderstorm.
So would it? See, but just in case, would they be on the original stream channel? What was it?
Oh, Davis?
Is it gonna be Davis's stream Twitch,
no,
or is it gonna be put on?
It'll be on the Twitch. It'll be on his Twitch. I mean, he's supposedly going live here soon on the Twitch. You know, whether or not he's going to be talking shit on me, I can't. Oh, here we go, Luke. He's live on the Twitch.
Advertisements.
Oh man!
The new Honda Civic Sport is fast moving.
Oh man, we're ready for a Honda Civic Sport here.
Come on!
Alrighty, there it is. All right, let's get some sound.
Oh, nothing. Oh, here we go.
Sound. No sound yet.
I thought I heard something. In defense of widows and orphans.
In defense of widows and orphans. This is a common admonition you'll hear in the Catholic Church. All of the blessings for war, all the blessings for weapons include it. And it's a phrase that's popped up several times for me today. It's serendipitously been appearing, and so I decided to name the stream after it. It seemed appropriate. In defense of widows and orphans. One of the things to consider, one of the cautions you need to put in place for this, is that some orphans are orphans because they murdered their own parents. One of the places this phrase popped up was in some of Heithroon's notes on the topic of being a good man. So defending widows and orphans, it's one of the requirements of being a Christian knight. It's also one of the requirements of being a good heathen man, isn't it, Heithroon?
Yes, it is.
So this is one of the places that popped up. Heithroon, could we begin this live stream by talking about that document you put together, those bullet points about what it required, what a good man is?
Sure. This was from an interview that I was asked to do about a year ago on a different podcast, and it was regarding my hypothesis of masculine mindedness versus feminine mindedness. And I'll go over the traits that I identify as being those of masculine mindedness. What identifies a masculinely minded individual? He is a builder, expander, and maintainer of the tribe. He is empathetic. He protects widows and orphans. He is a thinker. He plays fairly. He boldly goes into the unknown and creates order out of chaos. He is a direct and honest communicator.
I'm whipping out the
He
game.
identifies, discusses, and resolves the ever-emerging problems of human experience. What qualifies him? 1, he takes responsibility. 2, he makes independent decisions. And 3, he is self-sufficient. How does the femininely minded differ? She has no in-group loyalty. She lacks empathy except for her own offspring. She requires safety and security. She feels rather than thinks. She is unscrupulous in play. She is cowardly. She is cunning and manipulative even with herself. She brings problems to others to solve. She does not take responsibility. She does not make independent decisions.
She just sounds like a bitch.
And isn't this exactly what we're seeing in the world right now? The effort that you and I are trying to engage in, what we're dedicating this energy towards, is trying to cultivate, trying to develop the masculine potential of individuals out there. As we've commented before, we are a society without fathers. Our fathers have been disempowered by the system. They've been ridiculed in the media. They've had their authority undermined and their ability to protect us legislated away. And so every single one of us is wounded.
Luke, this is still 2018, right?
That fatherhood protection.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you didn't get my DeLorean.
We have not had that induction into civilization that's necessary if we're going to continue it. We have all spent
just sounded a little
a decade or more of our life trying to turn ourselves into
the art contest going.
Have been
no
so long ago.
It's
well,
but the problem is, even though that we are trying to do this,
we'll keep the audio.
There are so many people out there. And this is something I'm coming to realize. There are people out there. Part of the reason I think I get a lot of hatred from certain circles out there, it's not because I said something mean about feminism or Bernie Sanders or whatever I said that triggered them. No, it's not what I said that triggered them. The reason that a lot of people hate what I do is because I'm trying to help people develop the conditions for self-improvement. And if somebody doesn't want to self-improve, then a dystopia is the perfect place for them to live. In the dystopia, the reason your life sucks in the dystopia is because it's a dystopia. You can point towards, you can blame whatever you want for it. You can blame the feminists for ruining your love life. You can blame the government for either not giving you all the free stuff you need or giving free stuff to foreign peoples so that there's no support for you. You can, I mean, the list goes on and on and on, okay? And both sides, okay? The right can blame it for this, the left can blame it for that. But here's the comforting aspect of that. If you're living in a dystopia, then your failures aren't your own fault, are they?
No.
And that's what we're seeing with a lot of these people. We're seeing a lot of people that welcome and celebrate the dystopia because it enables their failure. Aaron Clary, you remember years ago when Aaron Clary made a video mildly critiquing the MGTOW movement, how a lot of them are VGTOWs, how the hatred is only so that they can, they're MGTOWs not because they've been burned by women, but because they never even tried in the first place.
Right.
And you remember he got a massive backlash from this, which it surprised him, actually, because he actually is a really MGTOW guy. He does go his own way. He should be the MGTOW like hero. He should be on their flag. But he got a lot of backlash because Aaron Clary. There's reasons you can disagree with everybody. Okay, there's stuff I disagree with Aaron on, but Aaron Clary, his script, his website, his books, they're all about, yeah, the world sucks right now, but here's how you enjoy the decline. Here's how, yeah, the job market sucks, but here's how you can get your finances together even in a crappy economy. His stuff is all about doing the best you can with what you got.
Right. And there's people who succeed in any environment under any conditions. You know, a lot of it really has to do with who you are and what you are.
And what you choose to be. And that's the guys that come after Aaron. And many of the people, not all of them, some people, they're just genuinely angry.
I just kind of thought you should probably not put the Medicare art stuff up. Because he's doing a lot of not too hot for you stuff.
Right. You know, they hear me criticize feminism.
They've already deleted the 2 messages on their show.
Right? And so I criticize feminism, and they think I'm saying
I didn't catch that.
Men feel to beat their daughters. And it's like, obviously.
Yeah, the original comment was,
how
do I get my soy candle?
It's understandable. But she might interpret it that way. But those aren't the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that want to be losers.
I didn't see the second one, though.
And something I've had to make clear in recent days is that what we're doing around here, what I'm doing with this channel, what we're trying to do with the free folk,
we're trying to save the
we West. Are not providing a daycare for broken men.
We want only premium pay piggies.
We want people that actually have their act together. People, what are the 3 principles that you listed for that type of masculine-minded individual? I believe it was self-sufficient, takes responsibility, and what was the third one?
Makes independent decisions.
Exactly. You know, there is I'm sure there's, I can't recall, there's a military quote somewhere, but what it boils down to is no infantry captain wants a bunch of brain-dead automatons working for him. He wants a bunch of switched-on, courageous troops that will think for themselves.
Right.
That's what we're trying.
Because because circumstances are going to come up in their experience that are going to require them to respond. And they have to be capable of responding and not merely emotionally reacting.
One of the lectures we had in the military was the importance of the strategic corporal. And the idea that it boils down to, the sergeant major made a joke, and please, guys, don't take offense at this if you're Navy or Air Force, but the sergeant major made a joke. You know, in the Air Force, the officers fly the planes, while the non-coms fix them when they come back to the ground. You know, with the tankers, the officer says where the tank goes, and everybody else pulls the levers. In the Navy, the captain steers the boat around, while the rest of the crew bugger one another in the mess. But in the infantry, they're very, very frequently, during a situation when you make contact with the enemy, it's a corporal. The officers buy it, or there's a breakdown in communication. The corporals and the privates have to take charge and start making the decisions that will move the battle forward.
They really only have 2 messages, and they're both deleted.
In the infantry. And actually, you do in the Navy and everything else. That would just show guys. Don't get
but they do have 19 people watching right now, including us.
I've got 63.
Yeah, if we're going to turn the civilization around, we need people with responsibility, people that are working on becoming independent and people that will think for themselves. Not people looking for excuses as to why they're a failure. So guys, none of our lives turned out the way we wanted them to turn out. Every single one of us. Actually, I want to be really, really, really clear about something. Every single one of us has suffered enormously. Hey, Drew, and you'll say the same thing. You and I, we have had pressures put on us. We've had pain put on us that we didn't think we could survive.
Yeah.
But we did survive. We chose to survive, to overcome it. And we did. We're not here today because we're lucky or we're privileged or any garbage like that. And we're not bullying you when we say get your act together, pull yourself up, stop whining and wallowing, be a man.
No, you're a man.
I'm saying this because you can do it.
Man.
but you got to choose to do it.
Right. And it's ultimately your life. Do you want it or don't you?
Exactly. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And there is, I know things aren't great out there. When was that ever not true?
What is with? Oh, that's you.
Right.
I thought he was doing the Tom from Tom and Jerry. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's just me.
Here's something else.
That's my attitude right now.
I want to read.
I'm like, he wouldn't like.
This is by my very
That's
good
fun.
friend, Laramie Hirsch. And he just published this the other day. I haven't had a chance to fully read the whole thing. I'm really looking forward to it. But there's some of it that really stands out. Because part of the situation that we're dealing with is that things are very, very difficult right now. Can we trust Trump or not?
Yes, we can.
What about the church? What about the constant scandals in the church? Like, what are we supposed to do about any of this? And, let me read some of Laramie's words to you.
I suggest you just shut up and keep putting.
Catholics aren't able to handle this well. No one is handling this well, really. I'm talking about the crisis in the church, of course. Now, hear me out. I know this sounds very basic.
The church, notice, he says.
We humans were not designed to deal with this. This crisis is beyond human intelligence, but just understandable enough that everyone takes a crack at it.
The crisis of
is that the crisis is an incredibly huge.
I have a solution. When you find somebody's diddling kids,
and only the mad scientists attempt to figure the entire thing out. I mean, we all know the problem. Our shepherds have become worldly. But finding a correct and viable course correction, exploring the endless implications of this failure, addressing and ministering the various victims in it all, dealing with the entire problem as a whole is a path to madness. But what drives me to pen this post is the visible divisions forming between so many fellow Catholics who ought to be friends and allies. There should be unity and resolve between most of the Catholic laity on this issue. We should be joining hands, getting each other's back, encouraging one another, and picking up a brother if he falls down. If two of us disagree on something, one of us needs to try to be the bigger person, take the slap across the face, turn the other cheek, and calmly ask, "Are you done?" This crisis is manipulated against mankind by bodiless super-intelligence. The orchestration of this entire institutional cataclysm is managed by something off-world, something inhuman. The crisis is an interdimensional chess game that most don't realize they're even playing.
Is it 5D chess?
For alien enemy, and he distracts us so that
the kind where he mentions you can pay a super chat. By Hadroon is saying
the
sheer
super scope of what's happening to the church and mankind as a whole is beyond your grasp. Consider that there's almost 7 billion people in the world, and consider that perhaps on average each person interacts with 10 people. That is 7 billion interactions the devil tries to steer. The intellectual might of his species is unimaginable. That's all I'm going to read. Go check out the post. In fact, let me link this for you guys.
Pretty powerful words there.
And guys, it's not just the church. Okay, he's talking about the crisis in the church. It's not just the church. How many times have I said that this problem is absolutely everywhere?
Yeah.
One of the reasons that things are going so well in France for now is that the Yellow Jackets are not on the right or the left. They are everywhere. And it's not about a fuel tax. It's about everything. What happened?
We're going to all have to stop with this French surrender monkey jokes here soon.
Right, let's take the man-woman thing. So we talk about this all the time.
Bringing back the guillotine.
Who are builders, who are responsible, who are courageous, who
I'm
are
trying to find the picture. I can't find
children, who will defend the widows and the orphans.
What picture are you looking for?
We also need
the guillotine
that nurture masculinity, that protect the soldier when he's wounded. And we don't have enough of either of those things. And everybody is willing to talk about why things are this way. Now, it's because of this reason, it's that reason. When you look at a lot of feminist anger out there, I mean, do you think it's fair to say that a lot of their anger is that their fathers didn't protect them?
Oh, I think that is the singular reason for it. Absolutely.
Look at the whole date rape issue. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, in the legal sense, you know, we're very right-brained in these circles, or sorry, very left-brained in these circles. You know, if a woman
Big brain nippers
goes out and gets drunk and goes to a frat party with a bunch of drunk frat boys, I think we all know what's going to happen in that scenario. Okay, and that's not rape. But it doesn't matter whether it's rape or not if in the morning she wakes up and she feels terrible about herself. And now she is asking herself, why did nobody protect me from this? Why was this allowed to happen? Do you let teenagers get drunk and toss them the keys to the Porsche? Yeah, the teenager's still responsible for drunk driving the Porsche into the wall at 200 miles an hour. But what did you think was going to happen? So a lot of this feminist anger, a lot of this stuff comes because fathers did not protect them.
Right.
And we could argue all night about how many angels can dance on the head of the pin. What happened to cause all of this?
Who argues that?
About the nature of salvation is that's just some asinine.
Is part of the solution.
The real solution is to give money to
women and women nurturing men.
I tried to listen to the rest of the original moot, and he brings it over and over again like it's an actual arguing point.
Well,
and we each have to make that choice as individuals.
Sitting here asking what must a man do to be saved, that's just some ancillary question.
Trying to say that
the real question is, are you making with them shekels?
You know, the Pope is spreading heresy, so we need to do X, Y, and Z. And anybody that doesn't agree with me
Did the Pope join a pagan cult? I'm not sure you have much room to talk anymore, David.
As to building something. That's not a solution. You know, I can recognize fair from foul. I don't know whether Donald Trump is unwilling to do what he said he was going to do, or incapable of doing what he said he was going to do, or if he is still clearing out the swamp and he will do what he said he was going to do.
Well, those all sounds variations of the same thing.
None of us know. We have our theories, but none of us actually knows.
Well, we also don't have any control over that. The only thing we have control over is what we do.
I don't know whether QAnon is who he claims to be,
or
if he's a LARPer, or if he's a deep state distraction. I don't know. I suppose I do have my opinion on the thing, and I suppose I could go on to a forum somewhere and argue with a bunch of people that believe in QAnon because I don't believe in him, and we could have a huge argument with one another. Or I could support people that are doing good work. Owen Benjamin recently came under a lot of attacks because he posted a video where he argued against, he doesn't believe in the moon landing. Now, I've actually looked into this one fairly heavily, and I am listen, all of the science, like all the scientific reasons people claim that we didn't land on the moon, none of them really hold up to scrutiny. I've looked into it. I see no reason to doubt that we landed on the moon. I haven't watched Benjamin's video yet, but he does have some, apparently he's looking more at structural things behind it. And, you know, the idea that our government would lie to us isn't exactly it's not the craziest thing that ever happened. But at the end of the day, I don't care whether or not, who cares? He's either right or he's wrong. The thing is, Owen Benjamin is a guy that loves his family. And he broke away from Hollywood at great personal expense because he saw how the sausage was made. There are people attacking him.
Well, I'm sorry, I just got so sleepy there for a second.
You can see in his recent video, he's very hurt by all of this. Do you know that somebody sent poisoned candy to his house?
That does suck.
And this wasn't somebody. This wasn't
Did somebody though, or is this like Brianna Wu fucking?
No. This
I
was a
had SWAT teams outside my house or some shit. There was a sniper outside my house. I don't buy a lot from these Benjamin anymore.
When he was talking about how the Hollywood elites are corrupt.
Oh, here's a good comment. We haven't been to the moon since. Why does it matter?
Turned on him. And they sent poison to try and kill his children because they are too pathetic to have any children.
We haven't been back to the moon because we've been busy spending all that money on crackheads and single moms. We ain't got no money for the moon no more. Plus, in all fairness, it's not like there's really anything up there.
Just taking a look at the chat.
Wolverker has a comment there. How long, O naive ones, will you love being simple-minded, and scoffers delight themselves in scoffing, and fools hate knowledge?
That's it. We hate knowledge over here.
Who does not take counsel with the wicked, who does not stand in the path of sinners, or sit in the seat of scoffers.
You fucking sinners over there laughing. You should be painting your dick blue like me.
They want to sit in judgment of everybody and pronounce others as wrong, others as stupid, others as you name it. The internet just feeds these people.
You know, I kind of wanted to mention this
Quote
before the show, and I forgot.
Mall 22.
A
paltry man.
I was thinking of issuing a challenge to Davis, where you find a right-wing Protestant, a right-wing Orthodox, and a right-wing Catholic, right? Like I was thinking maybe Dalrock for the Protestant slot, maybe like Nick Fuentes for Catholic and Jay Dyer for Orthodox. But, you know, we could agree on that. Find one of each, the three major branches of Christianity, as it were. And if Davis can get 2 out of 3 of them, because remember, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. If Davis can get 2 out of 3 of them to sign off on this pagan cult, I'd be willing to drop the subject forever.
I absolutely love the music from The Wizard of Oz. I love how witty it is. I love how innocent it is. It's just funny. You know, I would while away the hours conferring with the flowers and consulting with the rain if I only had a brain. It's hilarious. There's this scarecrow dreaming.
Yeah, that's a lot of yucks right there, Davis. Good God. You have this sense of humor, Lieutenant Commander Data.
I've watched the movie. I watched the movie as a kid, and something about it always threw me off. Something about it was very disquieting. And so to look into this a little bit, and I stumbled upon this article, The Dark Side of Oz, The Exploitation of Judy Garland.
Zach the Bong Ripper asked, where is Davis going with all this? Up his own ass.
She played...
That's where he's going with all this.
Let's make this a little more lively, shall we?
Alice.
Oh, man.
Or in pain.
And this article...
With the thoughts you'd be thinking you could be another Lincoln if you only had a brain.
This girl, she'd been in Hollywood for ages. They wanted to get the most. She was so... and they just wanted to get everything out of her. And so they had her on amphetamines during the day and barbiturates at night.
Wasn't there a dead midget that hung himself in the background of that movie?
That's a myth.
Not allowed to use
it's actually just one of the...
For the roles.
There was an image when they had these dog birds, and it just looks like one of the bird heads, or just look like a leg.
Every single time. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this, but there's one bit that really stood out to me. There we go. While on the set of The Wizard of Oz, and this is the bits that always creep me out. It's the, I should like the Tin Man. I should like the Scarecrow. And
somebody asked, do you think Davis lied about mentioning the Bechtloff just to get views? I didn't hear directly from him. I just heard it from the rumor mill. So I could be barking up the wrong tree. We don't know. Maybe I'm wasting everyone's time here. I apologize.
The rest of the adult
I apologize. I'm making you all listen to this pretentious
attention given to the teenager, and we were afraid she would upstage them in the movie. Instead of giving the insecure girl the support she desperately needed, she was shunned by the 4 male leads. Ray Bolger.
Oh, I thought it was... There it is.
Morgan.
What happened?
Ironically, her
they just had to reload.
Adult friend on the set was Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West.
I never really liked that movie that much.
In that movie,
no,
even as a little kid, it just never. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad movie, particularly for the time. I just always thought it was a touch overrated.
Can you conceive of this? These are grown men.
I mean, there's movies from that era I like. I mean, I'll sit and watch the original King Kong 1,000,000 times.
Probably.
Or those old Universal monster movies from the 30s and the 40s and shit. Like, I'll watch those. But I don't know.
They are jealous and envious of this girl.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this was the original footage here. That's the bird with his head out. I think someone
that
edited.
Doesn't really look like.
I mean, sexually.
Yeah, but then someone decided to edit and put this into it.
She was constantly being abused. And thank you for following College Reactionary. And thanks to the folks that followed before we got the stream started, by the way.
Yes.
But here's the thing. If, hypothetically...
Somebody thought for the longest time there was a ghost in that movie, 3 Men and a Baby. Like, because there's this really weird figure that stands outside the window, but it turns out it was just a cardboard cutout somebody had accidentally put there. It did look really creepy.
Who is just being pushed beyond her limits?
Oh, man.
How would they have responded if they saw one of the producers shuffling her into his trailer and she comes out with her clothes in disarray afterwards? Do you know what they would have thought to themselves? Fucking bitch had it coming. So yeah, ask how abuse happens in Hollywood. Because Hollywood is full.
Zach the Bong Ripper says, I don't know where Davis was going.
Who are
but is he there yet?
Actors.
Yeah, I kind of lost track about it a while ago.
Yeah, I'm only like half listening, guys.
One more view.
I'm not lying when I'm saying I'm sitting here playing Super Mario Land.
Just vile narcissists. Monsters.
Oh, this is what we're talking about you?
Maybe. That Bechtloff guy is a monster.
You know, the reason
he's a monster in the sack, am I right?
Is because the angry video game nerd. He had Macaulay Culkin on his show recently.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
So
AVGN's really up in his game lately.
They were They were reviewing the Home Alone games. And you know what I gotta say about Macaulay? He comes across as a very likable guy. Now, in this episode, he's making himself kind of creepy. He's being awkward and weird. But he really comes across as a genuinely likable guy. But at the same time, I mean, you can see it. You can just see it in the still. He looks like he's been through hell.
Yeah, he does.
There were rumors that he was abused on the set of Home Alone. He was abused by the two guys that played the criminals. And during this video, actually, first let me give Guy a little bit of background on the Angry Video Game Nerd if you've never heard of him before. So,
in case you hadn't heard of the AVGN, here on the internet,
on Twitch,
because you know Davis is a much bigger name.
It's a joke character. He exaggerates. He has a pocket protector. He doesn't normally wear.
Yeah, just his little.
By the way, I don't believe the rumor was that Macaulay Culkin was abused by Joe Pesci or whatever the other guy's name is. I'm blanking on it. In fact, he's often had very nice things to say about both those guys. I do suspect that if he was abused, it was probably by a casting couch
diarrhea and
kind
other
of situation.
Ridiculous curse words like that. So at the end of this video,
yeah, I don't think it was Joe Pesci. He even mentions because they mention in the one game like that doesn't look like Joe Pesci, and he goes like, yeah, it doesn't. I haven't seen him in a while, but he's a good guy.
Was
like I don't buy that. I don't really think that. I mean, maybe, who knows? I wouldn't.
Two actors.
No, for sure, but I don't think it was Joe Pesci and the other guy.
Have there been two accusations made against him?
So that's what are the odds of that? You know, it's guys watch the video.
You ever watch there's a bunch of videos on YouTube by nurses where they talk about how brutally deadly all those traps would have been on those guys,
or something. But he was playing
like how they wouldn't have survived half that.
Home Alone. and he was
Hell, in the
ranting
second one when they weren't even trying.
again,
Like
did
Macaulay
nothing
Culkin is
affect
just
him.
chucking bricks.
He was talking about the mother in the movie, but he was extremely vitriolic about it. I mean, just look at the guy. Those are the eyes of the man.
Joe Pesci accuses Macaulay Culkin of sexually assault on the set of
He overcame it.
Joe Pesci accuses Macaulay Culkin of sexual assault.
Are you reading that right?
Doing good things in this world.
That's a dog bites, or that's a man bites dog story right there.
And fortitude.
Well, this was back in. Oh yeah, this was last year. Huh.
Yeah, and you know what? Home Alone was one of these movies that something about it always bothered me, and I could never put my finger on it exactly.
Right. It's like you pick up a vibe, you know. There's an energy there.
I wish instead of Home Alone 2,
I just remember as a
I
kid,
wish they
like,
would have
half of
made
the
that
movies-
gangster movie Kevin
half
was
of the
making,
family-friendly movies
or
that
was
came out,
watching.
something
That
was
would have been the
disquieting
best
about
sequel to Home Alone.
it. Others were completely fine.
Like Angels
But
with
then
Filthy
others were
Fools, I think it was
just
called. That
something
gangster
wrong
movie
with
I was
this.
watching. Just make the whole movie
Oh
and
yeah.
release that the next year. That would have been fantastic.
Oh, that really was just a clip they made, huh?
You know,
Yeah, that was
honestly,
that wasn't a real movie. They made that for the movie.
Not too bad.
even the concept of
Like, you ever watched the movie Scrooge with Bill Murray and wish you could watch that version of A Christmas Carol he was making?
Apparently Jonah Hill's made accusations against Joe Pesci.
Really? Maybe I'm wrong. I just never got that vibe off Pesci.
Let's see. Here it is.
even dealing with a child having to deal with adults trying to prey on him. That's funny. Okay, you know what? The gay butt frog says, wasn't Culkin also one of Michael Jackson's fuck toys? You know, and this is thank you. I wanted to talk about this.
No, I don't. You know what? I used to think Jackson was guilty, but I watched the Razor.
Macaulay Culkin came out.
He did a really good.
Yeah,
he did a really good exploration on Jackson, and I don't believe Jackson was.
One of the big lies of Hollywood. One of the big lies. Of
I concur that after considering before I had it was kind of different towards it, but after seeing that Razor video, most likely he was set up for that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I kind of thought he did before, but it was something where I never really gave it a great deal of thought. I just, there's all these accusations, and he's really weird and crazy. So yeah, he probably did it.
Razor Fist it's a 30-minute video. He goes through everything.
Oh, Davis is actually mentioning that.
Thoroughly debunks that there was any evidence ever of Michael Jackson doing anything. Yeah, Hyperborean XRP. Michael Jackson.
Jonah Hill.
Michael Jackson was one of the good guys trying to protect kids in Hollywood. That's why he got close with them. And that's why he invited them over. And they say they slept in his bedroom. His bedroom was bigger than my house and had 2 stories. Okay?
Well, Michael Jackson was a child himself, you know?
Somebody says, I find it hard to imagine anyone wanted to touch Jonah Hill.
He was like Judy Garland.
Fair point.
Oh, yeah. He didn't have a childhood. He had a horrible childhood, from what I understand. Just grueling. Absolutely grueling.
And instead of
there's a lot of articles asking, where is Joe Pesci? No one's seen him in a while.
He flipped the script.
Maybe he just kind of retired. I mean, the guy's got to be getting up there in the
age.
You know, and I can't imagine if he was. I'm assuming he didn't, piss his money away or put it all up his nose. He'd probably stay.
And he's so iconic. I mean, there's only so many roles he could play. I mean, he's pushing 75 now.
And he was friends with who is the producer? Steven.
I don't know. Maybe he was a kid. That's a shame. I always got a better vibe off Pesci than that. But again, these are actors. Their job is literally to pretend to be people they're not. So how can you ever tell?
Like hot and sweaty, like I was in an all-male sauna. I don't know.
Whoa! I think we missed something there. You were doing what now, Davis?
And so out of nowhere, Steven Spielberg unfriended Michael Jackson. And so some of the speculation is that Michael Jackson inducted himself into the pedophile rings to protect the kids or to try and help heal the kids after things fell apart. And at first they thought he was one of them. And then they realized, no, he's actually looking out for the kids. And that's when they turned against him.
How did we get to Hollywood pedophilia and skip over the Vatican's transgressions? Davis uses boredom to avoid argument.
The publishing industry in New York would refuse if you wrote a book.
Yeah, you notice he kind of skipped right over all the Vatican stuff. Oh well, what can we do about that?
Oh,
Now let's.
he did mention
Hollywood
the
a great deal.
scandal in the
Like the ball,
church,
isn't
so.
Now, don't
So
get me
he did
wrong.
mention
I
it.
mean, I'd be quite okay with
And, check
fire
out
and
his
brimstone
blog.
raining down on Hollywood completely at this point, but
And look up the lyrics to that song, not the official lyrics, because they changed 2 of the lines because 2 of the lines weren't acceptable. That song's great. They don't. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the song, honestly. I think he's done better work. But the message of the song, they don't care about us. It's a great message. All of these rap bastards are the sort of people that make a children's movie like The Wizard of Oz, which is about. So it's like Disneyland. It's like celebrating childhood. Look at this adventure that Dorothy goes on with Toto, and they abuse a child to do it. It's like making a movie with animals, right? About a pet cat or a pet dog going on an adventure and abusing the animal when you're making the movie. People are absolute monsters. And again, I don't know what the entire thing is. Some of this is speculation. I know what evil people are. I know that somebody that would be envious of a child who's being abused, I know that person's evil. I know that person won't lift a finger to defend the innocent. I know that much. I don't know if Pizzagate's real or not. I don't know how organized the cabal is, but I do know that people like that wouldn't care if there was a cabal. I'm not going to fight other people over this. I'm not going to fight other innocent people, other decent people.
There, how's that?
All we can try and do is try and do what's right. And, all right. Here's another interesting bit of news I found. Guys, I'm sorry for the black pills, but this is a public service announcement. Hidden for decades, Johnson & Johnson may have known about carcinogens in baby powder since 1971.
This is an unbelievable story.
I mean, we talk about Monsanto and this. Good Lord. You know the Bill Hicks joke about marketing executives? And it's like, what do you do tonight, honey? Oh, we figured out how to put arsenic in baby food. Good night, honey. Johnson & Johnson knew for decades.
I prefer Bill Hicks' work after he changed his name to Alex
that their
Jones.
talcum powder contained asbestos and worked to conceal it from federal regulators and the public. J&J stock plunged 8%. And by the way, when was this published? This is breaking news. This is 14th of December.
I've been reacquainted with the TV series Doper, and it's wonderful.
Friday at 9 p.m. that this was published.
Yeah, that came out what was that, late 90s, early 2000s? There was a huge adult animation boom around that time.
So Johnson & Johnson stock plunged 8% after Reuters.
That's when we originally got Family Guy Futurama, and they obviously stuck around for a while. But
is the biggest loss in 60
there was tons of stuff like Mission Hill, and Baby Blues, and the Oblongs, and the Clerks cartoon. A lot of it didn't last long.
Labs carried out between 1972 and 1975.
Is it? Yes.
Nothing but resumes. People are bailing out. There must be a problem with our new flagship product.
The herbal throat lozenges? I told them at the rollout meeting that anthrax was a bacteria, not an herb. No, you didn't. I was thinking it pretty hard.
I was pretty hard. Oh, man.
The pharmaceutical company is facing
Virile Journey says, Bechtloff, are you going to join his stream? Oh, no, I'm not welcome over there. I don't praise the sun.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Asbestos. I mean, I almost want to laugh. This is like a joke from Futurama.
It's like, how does that even get into a product unless it was put there deliberately?
How do you How does anybody with a
Well, troops,
soul
I assume you've all been
cover
informed
this
about
up?
the problems with our flagship product.
Not me.
I don't
Now,
know.
this isn't the cigarette
Well, there's no
companies
point in
trying
killing
to
a dead horse.
cover up
You mean there's no point in
studies
beating
about
a dead
cancer
horse?
Because it's
Why
adult
would
smoking,
anyone
it's
beat a dead horse?
Why would anyone kill a dead
baby
horse?
powder,
Maybe
for
it kicked
God's
you.
It's dead.
And so is every customer who used our flagship product. Now,
Good.
Oh man.
Oh, that was brilliant. This was a way of having. This was
Sometimes I
really
wake up
good
and
for
I
its
don't
time.
know where I am anymore. I don't know what kind of planet I'm living on.
You know what was really good and very ahead of
Just
its
the
time was
actions of some
Duckman.
people.
You know, I heard about this
Duckman was
website,
fantastic.
and you know, I can't vouch for it. Okay, I heard about
That
it.
was like '94 that started too, man.
.com.
There was a
And
bit of an
I just-
adult animation boom in
I'm familiar
'94.
with it.
Like you had the
Natural
Critic,
Medicine.
Startup,
I just tossed into chat there.
a couple other oddball
And
things,
they
but most of
apparently
them
offer
didn't
good
last.
products, safe products.
Duckman, it only lasted a couple of seasons, but they were really
They're
there
not
was
paying
it wasn't
me.
like
I
13
haven't heard
episode
about them
seasons. I think
recently.
they made like something like 90 episodes,
Well,
or
I could
70
vouch for their
episodes, something like
content.
that.
They were recommended to me.
They made a lot. It had a
Years ago, and
decent
I
run, I
found the
guess. I mean,
information
it could have gone longer, but
They seem
It's a lot of good
good
stuff.
stuff. Though. I remember it used to be on
maybe don't buy
Weird Science and Duckman used to be on like back to back on USA. The Weird Science show was great too.
Yeah, that was a dry hole. Do we have anyone here from marketing?
Lie to me.
Well, I mean,
Our
we've
next
got,
upgrade will solve the problem.
They
Oh.
brag about this because
I think I've been honey dick, if I'm being
women
honest with y'all,
want it.
folks.
They will pay more.
I don't think he's gonna talk shit about me.
Like here, all right, here's a
I'm
great
sad.
example. So
Aw.
I'm sad. I thought he was gonna put me in my
the-
place.
The foreskin of circumcised penises, grind them up, and put them into beauty products for women.
Wait,
Now,
we're doing what?
the thing is, there aren't that many foreskins available for the worldwide market, not compared to how much beauty product women slather on themselves. So
What is this? The Joker scheme from Batman 1?
Oh my god!
I don't think he was putting baby foreskins in his product. But I don't.
Talking about people
Was
Not
the
much
Joker
better, though.
Jewish? I'm not sure.
can do anything about monsters, and we got a few of them in the comments.
Oh no, we got some monsters in the comments. Oh no.
So there's not that
Where?
many foreskins available.
Oh
But even though
no.
these are included in beauty products, it's sort of like that.
Where can I get my soy
stuff
fart
where they
scented
dilute it
candle?
so many times that there's actually no atoms left. There are so few foreskins in the beauty products.
Yeah, that's a monster.
Basically,
I love that in Davis's eyes.
Okay,
Somebody
you have to
laughing.
buy-
Let's start the countdown. When it
Poison
gets deleted.
before you get one skin cell.
Let's
from a
count on when
foreskin.
it's going to get deleted.
Right, so it's not.
There it goes.
It's not a
Now it's
there
there's
goes.
no reason to have this
I
whatsoever.
love that in
That's not
Davis's
even
eyes,
happening.
you know,
So there are women that go out and buy this.
what's that? You made a joke about me in the comments? You're a monster, just like these people who poisoned babies.
In the beauty product.
Oh, what a thin-skinned pussy.
That's the world we live in. We live in a world.
Somebody in the chat says foreskin
Thinking
candles.
bank in Hollywood are jealous of a 16-year-old abused girl, and
Oh,
where important, empowered women make more money than half of us.
sue me, I'm colorful. Doesn't mean I belong in here making potholders with the wackos. Besides,
funny story. When Jason Alexander auditioned for Duckman, he didn't know anything about the show, and he thought it was a one-off character. So he did that really, outrageous voice, and he was thinking like, I could do this for one episode, no problem. And then he gets signed on for a whole show. He's like, man, that just about killed my voice.
It's the same everywhere.
He's known for it, though. Well done, Seinfeld.
It is the same everywhere because it's easier to fight with your neighbor than go and do something good. Because the only solution.
I don't disagree with that.
It's not.
Well, if my neighbor would stop shitting his pants in public, I would.
Now, don't get me wrong. God loves warriors. Christ loved Peter because he carried a sword, even if he chastised him at times about not always using it. God loves warriors.
I'm pretty sure the peacemakers would contradict that notion.
But these people, a mob is not formed of warriors, okay? And these people that go out there and fight others.
Dashing Rogue says, "Screw your optics, I'm going in."
These aren't
Well,
warriors.
Godspeed, brave warrior.
Oh boy,
God loves warriors. So
Yeah, they're a rabble.
These individualists, they're always attracted to crowds. See, a warrior knows how to subsume his will to the greater good. This is why he is willing to do something dangerous that might require self-sacrifice for the greater
the warrior.
good. Whereas the special snowflake, the special unique individual that won't take orders from everybody, won't adhere to any rules, won't do anything, that's the person that joins the mob. That's the person that goes, and they're such a special, unique individual, they're such a snowflake, they go and buy a t-shirt from Walmart that says, "I don't care what your opinion is," like every other asshole that goes to Walmart. They're the ones that dress in cosplay and have plastic lightsabers and all show up dressed exactly the fucking same to go see a shitty new Star Wars movie or a shitty Marvel movie or whatever other garbage is being excreted by Hollywood down their hungry maws that have been desensitized with nothing but saturated fats and salts and meat that comes out gray. And so they have to add pink coloring to it, and they have to add essential oils to it so it tastes like anything other than excrement. They're so numbed to what beauty and life is.
Which is the one that joins the cult,
children, and beg for more of this excrement from Hollywood.
I love his vitriol towards cosplayers. Now, don't get me wrong, Star Wars fans are fags, but like I always admire cosplayers when I go to cons because it takes a lot of artistry to make these costumes look great. Like you have to be in good shape if you want to, wear a lot of these things.
I saw this video.
And I just like Davis has spent his life cosplaying. He's gone from one identity to another. He's latched onto one movement after another, like a parasite, and now he's LARPing with fucking pagans shooting lightning bolt in the woods. And he wants to lecture people on this person made a really well-made costume to have fun at a convention. What a fucking loser. Paints my dick blue, runs in the woods. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Or these, and it's pretty terrible to look at. But when I saw this video,
cosplayers,
a whole other level, because when you see a little boy, it's one thing to see the picture, but when you see him moving and speaking and engaging, it's like then it hits home. This kid is the same age as my friend's son, who is, and he's using the same tone of voice to talk about DragCon as my friend's son uses to talk about Minecraft. And this boy is on a show. The show you're about to see, it's a podcast. Or
somebody in the chat, cosplay is silly, but people dressed like Tolkien rejects are big
got out
brain.
of prison.
Big brain nippers.
Of murdering and dismembering his drug dealer.
Soy face is a real problem.
These assholes have a YouTube channel.
Oh, Boogie.
So here we're just gonna watch a little bit of these creatures. Watch this.
Well, and Instagram followers, thousands, tens of thousands. And what's your Instagram called?
Oh, that's that.
Oh, poor kid.
That's that little homo boy we were talking about last night. Yeah, that's sad.
He's clearly being used for purposes that are beyond his understanding.
That kid's like 10, 15 years away from a semen-covered death.
Oh,
like the Law and Order SVU episodes back when that show was kind of good. Where they find the kid in a bag full of cum, a trash bag full of cum.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, that's sad.
I know you couldn't hear the audio, hey Thrun, but
I don't need to.
It's like you
can hear it through magic.
Ask a little kid, what you learned at school today, and they don't really know how to tell a story yet because they're still a kid. and they kind of meander a little bit, and they bounce their head around. They're kind of like fidgeting a little bit, and oh my god, that's what drove it home for me that he's a child.
Oh, that's the one character from Venture Brothers.
Yep.
And you look at these.
See, that's artistry. Now, first of all, that woman's in great shape to be pulling that costume off. Second of all, whoever made that costume, whether it was her or not, I mean, it's
almost defying gravity.
Making clothing and like specialty clothing like that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. I look at it sort of like fan art. Like, obviously, there's going to be cringy shit about it, but you can go and find some of the most gorgeous fan art out there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not all like Shadow the Hedgehog making out with Shrek. You know what I mean? It's like some of it's like legit stuff.
I'm sorry, that video really hurt.
Oh man.
I'm a pretty desensitized guy.
Oh wow, this was pretty impressive.
That video hurt.
Hey, don't block the chat. Every once in a while, some people are.
All right, guys, we're gonna read something a little bit fun. All right.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun, are we?
Before we do, I just want to respond to a couple of comments in the chat, saying that this kid's father is enabling it. This kid has no father, as far as I'm concerned.
Father's not a man.
Yeah, then he's not a father. He's a sperm donor, and that's it.
What are the odds that this is what gets us kicked off of Twitch? Just playing 10-30 seconds of that interview.
And by the way, in all fairness, Twitch is pretty paused.
You know what? I want to point something out. I don't know if you can see it. We're not gonna play the video, but can I?
Although some cosplaying is really not much effort and not much to add to it, since character is just a swimsuit.
That picture,
that's not impressive at all. I mean, she's impressive, but the costume design itself is not. Nothing.
That's the date rape drug.
But some of the stuff I've seen at like Comic Cons and all, I mean, looks better than half the shit you see in Hollywood.
Have a picture in the background that it looks like it's got a little girl skipping on it. With the
some characters are just not fun to dress, aren't really cool to dress as. Well, especially anime characters, since they're apparently their costumes.
In not depressing news, Starbucks' new bathroom policy not working out as hoped. So I just ran into this. You guys might remember that Starbucks got themselves into a major situation.
I hate all this new Harley Quinn design. And, you know, this kind of started with the Arkham game where she wore that like slutty nurse outfit, but it really started with the New 52 reboot, which was a disaster in and of itself.
They were sitting around
like, she looks like a whore that works at Hot Topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I miss when she had the Jester outfit.
The cops were called, and things kind of.
Now, I mean, now it's become more popular for thoughts to cosplay as because A, it's an easier costume to make than a full-on Jester costume, and B, you look like a whore. So you know you're going to get all those thirsty betas sniffing after you. But like every once in a while, at Comic Cons, I see someone like cosplaying as Harley Quinn's classic design. That I always find impressive. That I always like.
Here we go.
And it's about 3 hours long. And
no, that's still.
No, here we go.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's Harley Quinn, damn it.
I recommend it, but it is a very long video. So
can you summarize it for the folks?
The essential point, the takeaway from the video, I'll give you one example from it. So he's talking about how there was this one company that there was a lawsuit against this company that there was discrimination in their promoting of a woman, something like that. And during discovery, they discovered one email from one of the executives where on a Friday afternoon he sent an animated GIF of a little black boy dancing to his wife with the comment, "It's Friday, N-word." The N-word ending with the A. at the end of it. And that email was all that was required to sue this company for, I believe, $100 million.
Jeez.
So if you've ever noticed that your baby boomer parents are absolutely terrified of all the political incorrectness, this is why. Because a joke, an obvious joke that's not even prejudiced, okay? That's the word they use in all the hip-hop songs. Okay, it was celebrating that it's Friday. That's enough.
Somebody says, you know, at this point, I'd rather listen to the Amazing Atheist.
Ugh.
Is my banana phone ringing?
So that's kind of the summary. And then there's a lot more. Like, Starbucks has been in bed with the diversity industry for a long time. And the diversity industry, it's very cynical. It's exploitative. It's, you know, it's not there to help you. Okay, like if you're a woman, if you get sexually harassed in the workplace, because this is potentially $100 million, the company is going to do everything to get rid of you. Okay, there's not going to be any justice. It does not benefit anybody except for the very small number of people that are making bank.
So he says, new to the free folk. Where can I learn more?
But now that said, so you know, on the one hand,
well, this one guy Bechtloff, he read through the whole site.
It wasn't fair. At the same time,
you can check him
out with this from day one. So you reap what you sow. And part of what their settlement, part of their PR initiative was to say that we will never, ever deny the washroom.
He's been going on an hour, hasn't he?
Ever again.
I think that this. Okay, assuming he had anything to do with this.
It's been 7 months since the famous purveyor.
I think I've been honey dicked into having to listen to his boring ass fucking show. I think he tricked us all, folks.
A New York Post team investigated
I'm beginning to think
bathrooms and found that
that's some good 4D chess, Davis.
A half dozen toilets were locked or barricaded for no clear reason.
Oh, there's at least 20 people watching now.
For prolonged cleaning, which an insider said
was 73.
Extreme soiling caused by abusing inconstant vagrants. Letting everybody in has resulted in nobody getting in. An employee at one branch fumed. Restroom closed, declared signs at 399 7th Ave and at a branch at Pearl Street and Maiden Lane. At 252 West 31st Street, the road to relief was blocked by garbage can. Furniture and boxes formed a barrier at 61 West 56th Street. A rope and traffic cone barred the way at 38 Park Row. When a desperate visitor asked,
he says Davis is doing 7-dimensional
Wheel of Fortune donuts nearby.
8-dimensional settlers of Satan.
Perhaps the experience of the Seattle shops provides an explanation. Several Starbucks workers.
No one noticed Boogie's comment, I noticed.
Hypodermic needles on the job every day.
Cosplay is silly, but people dressed like token rejects is a big brain.
Oh yeah, I read that earlier. I'm surprised she didn't X that.
KIRO7. That visitors would dispose.
Purveyor Mercy got banned, from what I understand, for saying, Davis, why are you joining the pagan cult? And he's like a hardcore trad Catholic. So I mean, I doubt he's a fan of mine. But I know I've seen him a lot in Davis's chat.
Prophylactic care for employees can be expensive. The extra cost could have been a contributing factor.
He used to give me a lot of shit when I was on Davis's channel, like in the chat. But
I mean,
talk about workplace hazards.
You know, maybe that fight for 15 is a little bit deserved.
Jeez.
Get woke, go broke. I mean, this is exactly what we all predicted would happen.
Yeah.
Smug chuckles.
And, you know, speaking of predicting what would happen.
Oh.
So, you know, here's a tweet from my favorite person on Twitter. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I thought you were getting to the money shot. You cock tease.
Yes, let's all talk about our walking gaff, please.
It might have been the House. I'm not sure.
I don't claim to know how American democracy works. So,
you know
Republic,
what? I don't claim to
Davis,
know
Republic.
How American democracy works.
Anyway, this is the woman that everything she says is so incredibly stupid. So she says the restaurant I used to work at.
Say that all religions are basically the same.
try one last time and kid around with
I need to
friends.
find that quote. I need
I'm a
to find
normal
it.
working person who chose to run for office because
I haven't had a
believe in
chance
the
to
future.
dig through the whole
You
damn
can
thing.
do it too.
So
we all can.
Because it's so fucking.
Well, I guess in her world, everybody should be a politician.
'Tis the season, I guess.
All the working class people should just become politicians, and then everything will be great. Oh, by the way, the reason that this restaurant's been open for 30 years, the reason it's shutting down now is the $15 minimum wage she passed.
Of course.
That looks like a dude
That
dressed
makes
as Harley
sense.
Quinn there.
And this
With
woman
Poison
had
Ivy.
the audacity
Oh, yeah.
to swing on
That's
by.
right. Now Poison Ivy's looking nice.
I mean, oh,
Mhm.
good.
That could just be a bad picture too. I mean,
Yeah.
but
These
yeah.
people ever
These
taken
days you
economics class?
can never really know.
Yeah.
You know, that would require they took responsibility for things.
Oh, that's right. That's not on the list.
Well, by the way, guys, we are open to callers. If you want to join in, just send me
Are you?
a message on the Skype.
I think you're only
if
partially
you would
open
like
to
to send
callers.
a super chat, if you'd like to support the program so that we can keep going, so I can possibly buy you know what? I've been thinking I really do want to get a wireless headset.
Does she ever have a good picture?
That way, if I need,
Yeah.
that way I can
It's
get up
funny
and
how
go
I
to
mentioned to
the
somebody
kitchen,
I was
get a
like,
drink.
talking about people who right before the election, I'm like, what's that communist from New York, with the crazy eyes and the horse teeth?
Super chat there.
And they like immediately knew who I was talking about.
Announced the schedule.
Even they can't say her name?
Yes, this is a good time to do
I
that.
wasn't sure what her name was off the top of my head. She's like, what's that one communist in New York with the crazy eyes and the horse teeth?
Partly because the Free Folk is going to have a round table on Sundays. And
Round
also
table.
Because I want to, I've been incredibly busy, and doing streams on a Sunday evening is pretty difficult for me. We are going to be moving to Saturdays next week.
Ooh, shots fired.
Mountain time. But on Saturdays instead of Sundays.
Oh, okay.
And we will be starting the
So after us, I
roundtable,
suppose?
weekly roundtable on Sundays, and we're planning to do that at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Our first podcast will be next Sunday, and that will be.
Oh,
hosted
wow. She
at
never
our
has a good
Facebook
picture.
website, so anybody can go check it out.
He's
there.
moving the show
And
opposite
also,
mine.
Amy's podcast is listed on the schedule there as well.
Got some hot competition.
Let's fix
I really don't care because I
How
don't
is this
think we have
logo
any
was,
overlap in our audience anymore.
posted
Not anymore.
And he says, God is furious with this country right now. Yeah.
Everyone's pushing one. What's everyone pushing one for here?
There are.
Press one if you want Bechtloff to call in. Yeah, let's be real here, folks. I don't live in fantasy land. There's no way he's taking my call.
I know I'm weak.
Because I'm pretty sure they call us through the Skype, right?
But I want goodness.
Yeah, there's no way that's happening.
And
Unless you make a new
not be
Skype
perfect,
account right
but
now.
I don't get too far out of line. Hold myself back at least a little bit.
I think we've been honey
so,
dick here.
There are so many people that say they love God, but they love themselves.
Well, the two hardest things for
They won't let me call in, no.
I was wrong.
I wonder if Pastor Tom could get in there.
I have no questions, really. I'm just like, okay, when you go be questions.
To quote Jontron, I have several questions.
Someone donated $5 to them.
Yeah.
Viral Journey just donated $5. You can send a link to Bechtloff. No.
Thank you for the donation, Viral.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's definitely avoiding you. He's definitely not thinking about you. Or he's obsessing about you. He just doesn't show us.
Millennial. I need to post.
Millennial.
Millennial Woes is show. What was that? Friday that I was on?
Yes, I believe so.
We had a really good chat, I thought. And listen, one of the things I said on there is I'm making a concerted effort not to fight with people on the right. That's part of the reason I also read I read Laramie Hirsch's blog post at the start of the stream about I'm not going to fight. Something I got some flack for is I was I was kind of upset with my priest because when I spoke to him about
They tell you not to be in a pagan cult.
Heresy with the Pope changing the catechism, he linked me to an apologetic saying that, well, he didn't really change it. And
there it goes.
I've heard enough of these apologetics. And it upset me. But you know what?
A shame. I was hoping for fireworks tonight.
He loves God. He loves his parishioners. And so, yes, it upset me that he didn't agree with me on this. But my job is to love people and to be good to people and to be charitable and to speak the truth even if it hurts. My job is not to argue with people or sow division. But he's a good priest. That's good enough for me.
Mm.
And I got a lot of flack from people for that. Got a lot of flack. Got called a hypocrite. Got called whatever. But you know what, guys? I'm sorry. There's too much fighting. There is too much infighting on the right. There's so much infighting between the right and the left as well. Actually, a great example.
Can't we all just get along?
There's a series of tweets.
How about Sisyphus, the guy who pushed a rock up a hill for eternity? That fits this project.
I like it.
They are by
It conveys a sense of playfulness.
Darker.
It's supposed to convey a sense of futility.
You have to look at it from the rock's point of view.
And what he's talking about is with the Yellow Jackets in France. How these people are strong because it's everybody in France. It's not the right. It's not the left. It's the French against a corrupt establishment. And one thing I've said many times on here is that it kind of frustrates me that left-wingers hate me so much because I actually agree with them on a lot of stuff. And, you know, I agree. I don't like the corporations being in charge of everything. I like Johnson & Johnson putting asbestos in the baby powder.
Does anybody like that on the right?
I'm a big fan of it.
I think
his baby. They got to toughen up at some point, Luke. I view it as only the strong babies.
Well, after they survive the vaccines, of course.
Yeah, we need to figure out solutions as we move more into a society where AI and technology and so forth are going to be doing more and more of the labor. We're moving more into a leisure economy as we go forward.
I guess I don't really have a problem with that, though. I mean, assuming we have free energy, we all have a leisure
The
economy.
left, these are just guys trying to eke a way through the world.
If you didn't have so much user in the economy, I kind of think that all the automation.
They're not my enemy.
Yeah, it would lower wages because we'd all be stuck, I don't know, being waiters or something. But in theory, wouldn't it make the cost of all the stuff we buy go down?
Strong. When it was
I think we got a lot of money changing, manipulating that keeps things from evening out more. Plus, obviously, letting in all the third worlders reduces the cost of labor.
Extremely exclusive, and it lost all of its power. It got pigeonholed into a box where it could be readily dismissed. Right. So, what Pave Darker was trying to point out is that right now they're trying to pigeonhole the Yellow Jackets and make them into one thing. If it's a right-wing tax protest, then the left-wingers. Ian, fix your mic.
Ian McDonald's on there. He might stir some shit. We'll see.
He's trying to, guys, we have power when we can work with people we disagree with. When you're an individualist that wants to join a mob, you have no power. You are responding to everything.
Or a Philly little Protestant.
Thank you for joining us. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to show my shit.
What is that?
So I think I posted in the chat up earlier. It is my story that has been published to Terror House.
Yes. Send me the link to that. I haven't had a chance to read it just yet, but we wanted to check it out.
Sure, I'll do it over the Skypes.
On the Skypes, yeah.
Bechtloff is stream sniping this, so
Okay.
Let's see.
I've been found out.
They've dropped.
Hey, tell us a little bit of what it's about.
Jesus, the feds are coming.
Cut.
Okay. Cuck Resistance is the name of the piece. It's a short story.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, go check that out. I know a friend of the show, Lindsay, not Lindsay. Is it Lindsay Soul? How am I not? Why do I never remember her name?
Stream. Well,
Leslie. Soul.
I was to
Thank
understand
you.
that
Good Lord,
he was
Leslie,
going to
you've
be
got this
putting a
name,
smackdown
my
on me,
brain
so
cannot
I'm waiting on that. It might not come.
Yeah, we might have been had, folks.
I think we might have been had. I don't know.
Just the rumor mill making us too excited.
She writes for Terror House as well. She's an excellent fiction writer. Check out her stuff and maybe consider buying one of her books. So there's a link. Cuck Resistance. Anything else on your mind, Ian?
Just knows me, senpai, and thank you for having me on.
Alrighty, take care, brother. I'm gonna. We will talk soon.
Mm-hmm.
You ratted me out. I've been found out.
Dang it.
So, well, actually, you know what? Dashing Rogue wants on, and I'll toss him the link. He says he's got a different perspective on the Yellow Jacket protests.
Okay.
I thought it was the Yellow Vest protest. I don't think Yellow Jacket. I don't think it's called the Yellow Jacket.
And while we're waiting for him to join, let's check out the comments. Hyperborean XRP says the alt-right was strong before the liberal media convinced them that they were all Nazis. Yes, the media had part of it, but there was a huge amount of infighting, of purity spiraling, of that sort of stuff to push people out of the alt-right, to antagonize, insult.
The Yellow Turban Rebellion.
that contributed to it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not pretend we had no culpability in this either.
Oh, Dashing Rogue is going to try now.
Yeah, people need $20 an hour today. Oh. Like, come on, CEO's making $30 million a year. That's not fair.
I think he's talking about the cost of living these days is so high that, yeah, that's what you need to make just to have a decent standard of living.
Hyperborean XRP comments, far left and far right believe in nothing, though. Just filled with hate and anger. Just a lot of far left out there. Yeah.
Both sides are dumb. Everyone's dumb with me.
About this every once in a while, this room.
Yeah, it's pretty polarized.
Oh, so how you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. What's on your mind?
Well, actually, I want to talk more about the whole, what the hell you call it? Oh, God, where is it? I have so many windows open. In 1 second. About the whole Yellow Jacket protest. I noticed that no one's really covering this angle about it. The whole thing started with fuel taxes, but no one's really talking about the aggressive Russian encroachment on the EU's. They're getting a monopoly on oil. There's so many oil pipelines that have been opened up in the last few years that are all controlled by Russia and Saudi Arabia. No one has brought this up. You know,
Isn't a Yellow Jacket a bee? Well, no, bees are actually useful. Yellow Jacket's a little closer to wasp. It's basically like if a bee wasn't helpful to the environment and was also an asshole.
And so I really think that this is not nationalist versus, let's say, internationalist.
Like a bumblebee, you gotta like really fuck with it to make it sting you. But a Yellow Jacket, I mean, they might just do it for the fun of it.
All the EU's oil is basically being provided by Russia. Almost all of particular nation in the Interarium, I believe it's called, the Eastern Europe place. They're all fucking addicted to Russian oil, and I think Germany is at most gets 46% according to 2013 studies of its oil from Russia.
Brother, I live in Calgary. All right. Do you know what this these oil prices have done to work here?
Don't know. Go right ahead.
They've destroyed it. I know it's a global commodity. And while it was
Well,
very
from what I
nice to fuel up
understand,
my car for
in
$50
France,
when
they were the
GTX
first ones
Premium,
to actually push that.
that was very
dumb
nice, but it also
shit
means
carbon
there's
tax.
absolutely no work in the province.
And so gas went up to, I guess, the French equivalent of like $10 a gallon,
but
which just brought the whole country to a
Syria
screeching halt.
try and prevent
And
Russia
that's
from
why
getting
everyone's out. I mean,
suppose that
let's be real. Yeah,
but
man
they
doesn't
get
live by bread
Syrians,
alone,
but
but
the
man
oil's
sure as hell doesn't
still
live
got
without it.
their oil.
Nothing gets people roused up like taking away
Yeah,
their,
but
their fucking,
here's the thing: whether
their
this
stuff,
was a
their
rational,
prosperity. I mean,
geopolitical move for Macron,
there was an old
it's
saying
kind
from
of
Carlin
irrelevant
where he
because
said,
that's just these
we're all
triggers
losing our
for these
rights, but no one
protests.
cares
Okay,
because
they
we all
aren't
have cell phones
spraying
that can make
excrement
pancakes.
on the side of the Parliament building because of the.
And I mean,
president.
as long as there are still the
That's
prosperity, no one's going to do anything
really
about
gotta
it.
say
At the
that
moment,
now.
there's no more food at the fucking grocery
They love
store
the
because
party protests.
nobody can afford to bring it in.
Well, then why is this the
well-
first protest we've seen in living memory?
Yeah, no, even yeah, here they are, the jerk and the good guy.
They've had cameras since before I was born.
Well, yeah, but they didn't have it nearly as fucking bad. They didn't have like a camera in their pocket. Okay?
You are really
Looks like
underestimating the significance of this. This is major.
Well, it is major. It's just that I don't think it's grassroots like people are saying. I do not believe it's grassroots. I believe that a lot of this is to give the EU an excuse to basically build an army, an excuse so that America doesn't have to, pay NATO anymore, an excuse to honestly let EU fight the Pan-Asian Union or whatever the fuck it's called, the Eurasian Economic Union. That's what I think is going on.
All right, so are the Russians funding this?
No, I believe it's Americans wanting. That's what
the founder of the new site Subscribestar, the new crowdfunding site Subscribestar, apparently is Russian. So I think there's like associated. Oh, he must be colluding with Trump.
We are the prize, but we're also the how should you say it? The weapons of war. We're like the nuclear bombs in Fallout, so to speak.
All right, Hypervarian XRP sends $20 and says, "Get a headset or some Crown Royal." Thank you, brother. Greatly appreciated. And we'll see how finances are doing by the end of the month. I also got, it's time to re-register my car. We'll see how many of those red light cameras caught me.
Thank you. Appreciate the support.
Hugely.
So yeah, that's one thing I'd say. For those of you who want to know more about the whole Russian shit, read Foundation for Geopolitics. That's probably the best example of what the geopolitical strategy that Russia is trying to implement. They want an empire, and they're willing to take and violate the national sovereignty of other countries to get that.
Well, the thing is, they already have an empire. Like it or not, Russia is an empire. It's not the... There's a lot of people on the right that want to imagine that it's a nationalist country, because they're doing a lot of stuff that we would like to happen here. But at the same time, Russia is an empire. They have a variety of different ethnicities inside of it, and they're balancing things out to try and keep all those groups happy. And you're always going to have an aspect of geopolitics where you do need to control crucial resources.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a difference between Finlandizing your neighbors and trying to rule over them, trying to make it so they have sovereignty, but as long as you play by their rules versus, trying to control your neighbors.
I don't think there's much we can do about it.
Well, there isn't much we can do.
That's the title of the entire stream, Davis.
I think it was British James who said
You know what we could
try?
We could try forming a pagan cult.
It's neither good guy or bad guy, but it's more good guy versus good guy, and I think that is the best way to put it, to be quite frank.
I don't think they're actually planning to invade the Ukraine in the politics. I agree with resist globalism there. It's there might be some saber.
I think they are.
There might be some saber rattling there, but it's just how the game is played. So
all right.
Anyway, thanks for being on. Hey, Thrun, can you cover the stream for a couple of minutes while I run to the washroom since I don't have wireless headphones?
Oh boy.
On the spot here.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? Actually, I have a question for Hey Thrun a couple times.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah. What books would you recommend for I'm reading Elric of Meltbane. I really wanted to get into have you heard of Jeremy Cornelius, that thing?
No, I have read the Elric Saga. Books 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm reading that right now, and
Oh,
I didn't want to get into the whole Jeremy Cornelius trilogy or whatever it's called, a quad trilogy. I can't remember what. Quartet, I think it is.
Okay.
So he says China is the biggest threat to the world. I'm going through the chat here because, good lord, I'm just trying to stay awake through this.
Like, there are transgender people. There's like people who fucking.
Bechtloff, you could ask Ian McDonald for the link.
I'm really not much of a moviegoer.
Well, this is one of those British sci-fi. Classic British.
Dude, the funniest thing was when I think it was Luke. He sends me the link when he was on Forney's stream the one time. So I just kind of hopped in and I just sort of quiet, listening to it and all. And then I just sort of chimed in. And Forney's like, Bechtloff, how the hell did you get there? I was just like,
this is actually in there.
Bechtloff goes where he pleases.
Like, how is that even a fucking like? How is that supposed to be the ultimate life form? It's like very like Crowley-esque type of shit.
The ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Like a lot of like Moorcock's stuff was influenced by that Jeremy Irons impersonator. Who the fuck was his name?
So he says my blue balls have blue balls.
God, Rudolph Steiner.
Damn it, Davis!
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go after me, you pussy. I know you want to. I know you're pissed. I know you're so fucking platinum ass mad.
Witch or something.
Like,
well, the book that
I know you are, dude.
I read the Elric saga.
He blocked me on Twitter, guys.
I know it has something to do with addiction.
We have a question for Dash and Rogue from Sergeant Lincoln,
blocked
who donated $10 and says,
the
Russia
Bechtloff
you think it is, Dash and
podcast Twitter,
Neocon
which I've never even logged into, so it doesn't even keep me from seeing his fucking feed.
In fact, I oftentimes get my information from a guy. His name is what the hell is his name? Lucian from Freedom Alternative Research and Analysis. He's on YouTube. Freedom Alternative. He did a whole thing about why Russia is not great, and a lot of the propaganda is being pushed out by Russia. There's a very big Muslim majority.
Yeah, the Mayagars, right?
I'm not familiar, but I know that
salt of the earth Americans are thirsty for pagan cults.
A lot of it's just the paper tiger. To be honest. They assume that they're Christian. They're not Christian. I've brought up before the whole Dugan thing, and he's a fucking follower of Thelema. You can find.
So he says, "Oh goodness, please get interesting soon."
This fucking Dugan guy, and he's making memoir styles of Crowley, and he claims to be a Christian. It's absolutely disgusting, but you know,
Russia is a regional empire with interests to maintain that empire. And
yeah, but at the same time, I don't want to be ruled by a bunch of.
Is this really what your show is now, Davis? Man, you gotta have people on there that stir the shit a little bit, dude. It's just, it can't just be this fart huffing.
Probably, or maybe it will collapse, and you're going to have chaos in the region. But they're not going to take over Europe.
I don't know. I mean, he did want the Eurasian empire, so I don't
just said it's a paper tiger. It's saber rattling.
Well, I said that the whole idea that they're a Christian empire and they're the good guys. That's the paper tiger.
Yeah, anybody that thinks they're the good guys is equally deluded. They're a regional Eurasian empire.
Virile Journey says Bechtloff is someone who still likes the US. I think he knows he's gone wrong in some way, but he
wants to control oil. Well, aside from Canada, we give it away for free because
I don't know. I don't know.
Wants to control oil, and Russia wants a pipeline. They want access to the Mediterranean. There you go.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, as Americans, should we allow them? I mean, are we just going to sit back and let people take control? If it's okay,
Dashing Rogue gone neocon on us.
And carve up Europe. Why can't we carve up Europe like we did carve up China?
America already carved up Europe.
I'm fairly certain we haven't.
Who runs all the newspapers? All of the newspapers in Europe are run by the American government.
What?
I'm gonna have to see a citation on that.
I was just about to say citation.
Well, I'm not going to give you a citation because I don't give a shit. But if you look it up, all the newspapers that are reporting about
what a Sargon answer! What a Sargon answer!
But now, before the Cold War, Western Europe.
So, Davis, why did you blog Bechtloff on Twitter? Inquiring minds want to know.
The CIA take control of the newspapers to make sure it was pro-American, pro-democracy, pro-liberal democracy, etc. Anti-communist propaganda. Okay, we're doing the same things as Russia. America is a multi-ethnic empire.
Rogue Full says Dashing Rogue is playing 7D Donkey Yoga.
America has more reach. Russia is more localized, but they're both playing the exact same game.
Okay. One more thing I'd say. I disagree with you about the whole cosplay thing. I think cosplay is actually a very, very art form, a very good art form. It's like I was at a cosplay ball the other day. I went to Lupin the Third. It was actually pretty nice.
Okay, well, I think if you cosplay and you've never worked a real job and you don't own a gun, I think that you're an overgrown man child.
I own a gun. Well, I own a gun. And I own.
Are you even allowed to own guns up in Kanakistan?
I have an AR-15 I'm building. I have a Bowie knife. You saw that Bowie knife before. Has Aethern seen the Bowie knife?
Okay, that's great.
No.
But my point is that there's a lot of people out there that
anime girls are hard to cosplay for.
I've been accused of LARPing a lot lately, but literally all they
Well,
do
actually,
is
they're super
LARP.
easy to cosplay for because they just have to be a beautiful girl with a wig.
They're man children. There's a lot of man children out there, and I don't approve of that. I think that, there's a great comment I read actually on the Rouge B forum. Somebody was saying that they hit a certain age, and all of a sudden they realized that it was nothing but cardboard and incandescent lights. That all this stuff that when they're in their 20s, like the youth culture, they're so cool and exciting and they want to be a part of it. And then just boom, suddenly it's like, wait a minute. It's made out of cardboard. It's just a paper moon. This stuff is ridiculous and silly. Yeah, it just like clicked at one
Davis,
point.
I never thought Star Trek was
real. Like, good
You're
Lord, I'm so happy I'm older because now I'm not excited by garbage anymore. If you're in your 30s and you still think that like the new Star Wars movies are really good and they have deep insights and useful messages, like holy hell, what's wrong with you?
Well, that ain't me. I didn't even think the originals were that great.
Like the older ones, you could sort
they're
of
kids.
like
They're good movies, but they're movies. That's all they are.
Well, yeah, they're always movies. I mean, they're stories fundamentally, but
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Okay, it's like kids want to be Neo, and then you grow up and you realize the whole thing is a metaphor for I think therefore I am. Okay, go read it. Go read some Evola. Stop obsessing over Harry Potter. And
should he read some Locke?
It's okay to have some fun once in a while.
Until you're not.
I do, so.
All right, well, listen, thanks for being on, man.
All right, I'll see you around. See you around, man.
Got some questions in the chat. Let's see.
Still here. All right, bye-bye. See you around, Aethern.
See ya. Have a good night.
Asking why I block people. I block people on Twitter for either A, I don't want them flagging me, or B, I don't want them spying on me and gossiping about me.
Davis, I'm never logged into that account. I can still see you.
Actually, the funny thing, I think more. Last week we were talking about how everything's a social network, how it's the eternal present, how you're forced into a room with everybody at the same time. It's I was saying to Aethern the other day privately, I used to have a bunch of friends in Hamilton. I moved away from there 10 years ago. And Aethern, do you know what they're saying about me now in Hamilton?
What would that be?
I have no fucking idea. And I don't care.
Is that called moving on?
I think they're probably not saying anything about me. I mean, there are some people that like me. There are some people that didn't like me. We've moved on. We've moved on with our lives. Where
have you?
People on the internet, it's like you're always. It's like you said this 5 years ago. It's like, get the fuck out of here. I don't know who you are.
Davis, I'm not digging up something you said 5 years ago. I'm pointing out that you joined a cult. Like, just recently.
You know what? I really actually do miss that. I miss how, if like when we were growing up, before the internet took over everything, if there's somebody you didn't like, you just didn't hang out with them. Problem fucking solved. Right. These days, it's
Davis,
like,
we're both.
Everybody's an e-stalker. Well, you don't.
Granted. Oh, the e-stalking shit. This is so ridiculous. You sound like Lindsay Ellis, Davis. You are a public figure. I am commenting on what you said publicly.
I'm not going to show up and tell you not to do your thing.
You sound like Lindsay Ellis with this gay e-stalking shit. Oh, he disagreed with me on the internet, so I'm going to cry rape. You sound like a woman when you come out and he's stalking me.
Says, Rogue One made me realize that I only like Star Wars for the spectacle. And it's like, I feel you, brother. It's, you know, kind of looking back, it's, yeah.
You
it's
are
like,
a public
special
figure.
effects, but they're just special effects.
No one is stalking you
Zero
when they
alternative,
comment on
$5.
what you say publicly.
Davis, any form of entertainment is cosplay to some degree. What's the point in nitpicking somebody's dumb fun? Oh, I'm not trying to nitpick anybody's fun. Again, you need to have some fun in your life, right? But can we not agree that there's a lot of people that only live vicariously? That there's a lot of people that don't have a real life, but they obsess over pop culture instead of having a real life?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, do you have any thoughts on this?
Not really.
Riveting.
Oh, goodness. Azalea Rosette has another question. Listen, Azalea, Bad Blood, he's been insulting me incessantly. First, he was insulting the Catholic Church. Then he was... You know what? I don't even want to talk about it. It's like, listen, I prayed that God will give him whatever he needs. You know, I don't know. I don't know what he needs. It's not my job to know what he needs. I prayed that God will give him what he needs. He's forgiven. I'm moving on. And that's all there is to it.
Okay.
There you have it, folks.
There you have it.
Yeah,
That whole hour
as
stream
far
for
as
that.
mentioning my name, I have no association with this person whatsoever.
This
So
person.
there's nothing for me to discuss there.
I never.
Some people don't like me on the internet.
Some
Like I said,
people.
I'm not going to fight with people. Okay? It's not... When you fight something, you give it energy. When you fight something, you make it stronger.
What?
And,
okay.
You know, it's like, listen, I'm upset about this kid that's being turned into a bocce boy, and everybody thinks that's fine. I'm upset over what happened to Macaulay Culkin. I'm upset over the fact that Owen Benjamin had somebody send poisoned candies to his house. Okay? That's the stuff that upsets me. That's stuff I care about. That's the stuff I want. I'm upset that our generation wasn't given the patrimony of civilization that we needed. And I want to build something. I want to mentor those that can be mentored. I want to help.
So the one person in chat said Bechtloff seems to not have any bad blood and would like to have a real discussion with you and Hadrian if you feel comfortable. I don't really have any bad blood. This is it's really reached a point where it's mostly funny to me. It's kind of also sad because this man who is a professing Christian is part of a pagan cult now, and that is sad. But I would be totally respectful with anybody that comes on this channel.
Okay, so
Even if it's the middle-aged witch.
You know what? The reason I don't like pop culture, big part of the reason, is because it's so temporary. It's so disposable, right?
Here's an impressive cosplayer.
It gives you the feeling, it's like empty calories, where it's like you feel like you engaged with something, right? Like you go to the movie theater and everybody's a big fan of this thing, and you feel like you're part of a movement, part of a cause. But no, it's just...
No, I don't feel that way when I go to the movie theater, Davis.
Well, you know...
Maybe in the 90s, but not even in the 90s we didn't feel that way.
Maybe when I was a little kid, a little bit.
Like this is going to be the greatest movie in the history of mankind.
Make it from scratch again, as opposed to just maintaining it.
You know, but
masculinity and civilization, we've lost that. So we literally have to go back to rubbing two sticks together, you know, to reconstitute that fire.
We have to go back to
you're describing,
you know, Dick's Blue and Dancing in the Woods.
Fatherless culture. Yeah, those of us who want to build something, we have to build it from nothing because that fire was not passed to us. The torch was not passed. Don't
get me wrong, I don't like a lot of current pop culture.
We didn't allow
it.
I mean, I've said before, I'm a huge Marvel fan, but since about 2012, most of their comics are ass. And I fully expect the movies are going to get paused up here thing.
What pop culture I like is the joke of society, for crying out loud.
We used to have, you try and put ensemble, which is, you know, winter festival.
Speaking of which.
Well, it's a sacred ritual. It's not a winter festival. We hold Yeah, we hold some
Ugh.
ritual.
Okay, my bad, but
That's okay.
you would prepare the hall.
Irini's
you'd have
lighthouse.
Food ready. You'd have, and it's not just a party. It's
Oh no, it's a sacred event. Yeah.
actually I'll give
It's
you
sacred.
my own for my 25th birthday. I decided to hold a wake instead of a birthday.
What?
And, I stole this from MASH, by the way.
A what? A what?
You know, the deceased would give the eulogy, and then the floor would open for rebuttals. And so I gave myself a eulogy about what a great guy I was, and then I opened the floor to all of my friends.
Imagine you go to your buddy's
with this
birthday
humorous,
party
roasting.
and you're like, okay, well, I don't know, maybe
It was
what are we gonna
fun.
do?
It was a
And then it's like, oh,
But
it's
it
just some
required that
pompous
people
fart
actually
huffing.
Participate.
Good lord.
And you and I have both had these
Pretentious
things where we try and create some sort of interesting event, and nobody participates.
Yeah, nobody wanted to show up to that. I'm
We've had
shocked.
people who participate, but one of the problems that we had in the
Oh, a
past
wake ceremony. Here
was
it
some of the
is.
folks that attended these events.
A wake
were
takes
only
place in
there
the house of
for,
the
you know,
deceased
the
with a
free
body
food,
present.
drink, and
Yeah, he
Over-
basically,
the
for his birthday, he
socialization.
did a mock
They
funeral
weren't there to
where he wanted everyone to kiss his
continue
ass and tell him what a good guy he is. Or
the
Modern
ethic
wakes are
because he talks
often-
about, oh no, they can rebut my eulogy. Oh, bullshit. We
higher
all know you're
spirit
as
that we were
thin-skinned
trying
as
to
they come,
raise
dude.
within the space.
Oh, by the way, Hyperborean XRP sends $20 and says, "Hey, Thrune, sing some power metal." I'll tell you what, Hyperborean. How about next
Sing
week
2 out of 3 ain't bad, Meatloaf.
songs for Thrune?
Maybe a snippet, maybe just a short snippet.
Yeah, I've heard it's beautiful music, guys. It's
Damn
really
it.
good.
I know
No,
he.
it's this
I know he
modern
started
attitude
that
of
rumor
people
too. I know you
where
did.
They
Damn it.
show up.
I'm
and
gonna
they're
get him. I'm gonna lay the
attack,
smackdown on him. I know you were saying that shit.
Some ugly mismatched T-shirt.
Damn it, Davis. You honey dicked me into listening to your boring, pretentious shit on a Sunday night.
These are the people, they've got nothing to contribute. They're not bringing anything to the table. And these are the people that they constantly need to be entertained. Now, if you can provide for that market, there's a lot of money to be made. Okay? You can make some damn good money providing Marvel
Lordy.
and Disneyland to these people. Right? And then so they get dressed up in their outfits and they go, oh, this is a good time. You just suck money out of their wallets. Right? But like these people aren't alive. They're not engaged.
Heroic Fool says, suicide is painless and it brings on many changes. And I guess I will go join a pagan cult, Davis Arini.
I'm not saying, like...
Boogie asks, are you not entertained?
Listen, I'm not a Puritan, okay?
I can honestly say I'm not.
I'm not plagued by the worry that somewhere somebody is having a good time.
Zach the Bong Ripper
They're
says, I
not
just woke
having
up.
a
What
good
did I
time.
miss?
It's a fake good time. It's fake calories. They go to this thing dressed like a Star Wars character, wave their lightsaber around, cheer for the idiots on stage, consume their soy, and then they go home and their life is the exact same empty, gray pablum that it always is. It's like life has become a hot dog.
What else is there?
It's gray and it's flavorless.
You could join a pagan cult.
And add some
I mean,
salt.
most of life is just going 9 to 5 and then having some fun on the side. I mean, what more do you want?
Right. Yeah. Well, a lot of people might
Davis
not realize
has
that,
to have this mind.
in the older days,
Davis
something
has to
ritual
believe
that
he's
was
living this
practiced
adventure.
exclusively by the
He has
nobility.
to.
And
Okay.
in the modern day,
You can't just accept the idea that, maybe you just go and you do your job and you love your friends and your family and you go to church and you love God and you try and do the right thing and you have a little fun when you got the opportunity, and that's life.
more than just
And that's not a bad life either.
You know,
99% of your ancestors would probably
Show up
happily
and
trade
they
places
say,
with you.
Rub it up top, thanks for the grub, God, or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's so bad?
They treat it like a joke.
It's better to
Everything's a joke.
chant in Latin to Mary, I guess.
If everything's a joke,
Or to Thor.
Just this vague sarcasm. This vague. It's like, that's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Resist Globalism's talk about he used to love pro wrestling. It's like, yeah, like pro wrestling. It's not. I'm not going to say it's great, but dude, you come home. It's like I can't wait to see these two, the faces and the heels. They're going to duke it out, and Vince McMahon is going to be that charismatic doof on stage that he always is. You get a kick out of that. All the power to you. I've known some really smart guys that enjoyed pro wrestling.
Heroic Fool says, consume the soy candles,
I
Goy.
think with pro wrestling, you know what it is, right? Whereas people actually, with this other stuff, they turn it into a life philosophy. It's like, dude, Star Wars is not a life philosophy. Jedi is not a religion. You are not a Hufflepuff. Lord of the... Well,
I mean, I'll agree the Star Wars and the Harry Potter fans are pretty fucking cringy.
The Marvel movies are
basic bees,
etc.
Simon Velez says he will never get banned. He puts even the AI to sleep.
Culture requires some investment on your part. You have to earn it.
Oh yeah.
Thor is not a religion either, says Heroic Fool. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of shit for liking Marvel movies from someone whose buddies worship an Avenger. I mean, I just read Thor comics. I don't pray to him, nigga.
My military unit, and it was a huge elaborate ritual. It was so much fun, but you had to not just any like you had to be a soldier.
Just to make it interesting, Newsweek claims that Tom Arnold claims that Donald Trump used Adderall on The Apprentice sets.
The group is bigger than me. I will follow the rules of this group. I will sacrifice to make this group better, as opposed to the individualist who joins the mob.
Right. Well, that's the difference between a spiritually rich person and a spiritually vacant person.
It's this odd. It seems like a contradiction.
I'm sorry. I guess it should have more right-wing Wicca to get more spiritually rich.
Buying T-shirts from Walmart, and lining up dressed like everybody else, cosplaying is the exact same thing. But it's what you actually find. You find people that are. There's a song that my dad recommended to me called "You Gotta Get In to Get Out." If you are actually an individual, if you are responsible, if you are creative, if you tend to get that way by serving others. Okay, but like the way you get rich is you get really good at serving others. You give people something they want that's really hard to get. That's how you get rich. Okay, the way you get poor is you be greedy and you want stuff all the time and you spend all your money on bullshit that you don't need.
Yeah.
But it's again, there's always these odd these deeper mysteries in life. Cosplay is not LARPing. LARPing is throwing lightning bolts, thinking they're real. Cosplay listen, these cam whores that cosplay and make bank on it. It's cynical, but hey, they're making money. I'm not like these broads are making money.
Yeah, like these LARPers that join a pagan cult to try and make a pyramid scheme. It's cynical,
mid-30s dork,
but they're not really even making money.
But he's never fired a real gun in his life.
Well, plenty of those out there.
I'm criticizing the guy that has got lots of achievements on Steam, but has never won a real-life trophy. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, we've been going for an hour and 44 minutes now.
Is that long? It's felt like 5.
Cover tonight, or any questions from the chat?
I don't have anything to cover tonight. I'll just mention again the change in schedule starting next week. Arini's Outpost moving to Saturday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And Free Folk Radio is going to be launching its weekly roundtable starting next Sunday. That's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And that'll be on YouTube.
Hyperborian expertise says every man and most women should learn to shoot a gun. Absolutely, and it's real and it's fun. I guess I don't know. There's some work involved. You got to load the magazines. You have to drive to the shooting range. You have to clean the gun afterward. There's work involved.
Speak for yourself. I just go to the field behind my buddy's house.
Requires work.
It's nice living in this redneck place once in a while.
Yeah, you got to put something into it to get something out of it.
Brilliantly put. And guys, just to finish things off, I guess the point of this live stream: defend the widows and orphans.
Oh yeah,
to the widows, to the walls.
None of us have the solutions for everything.
Yeah,
we do.
Oh yeah, that was the topic, wasn't it?
The ability to recognize.
I guess I don't know. I dozed off a few times.
So go be good. Do what little bits that you can. Be kind, be charitable, painfully charitable if you have to be. Do good to what is good. And what is evil, leave it at the side of the road.
Yeah,
and join a pagan cult.
God bless all of you. Deus Volt. This is.
You sure it's Deus Volt, not Blessed Be? Oh,
you know
man.
that feeling when the last strip of grass is exactly the width of...
I'm sorry, guys. I thought he was going to... I don't know. I know he was saying shit. I know. I'm like 90% certain he was saying shit, and I don't know if that was to honey dick me or if he pussed out. I like once he realized I was going to stream. So I don't know, but that was disappointing. So he says, "I love you, Bechtloff, but we got played like a $2 crack hoe." You know, I had more people watching me though. This is bad content. Well, yes.
Well,
yes,
it wasn't yours, Dave. It wasn't yours, Bechtloff.
Hey, you know what? I warned y'all from the beginning. I said this could be awesome. This could be nothing. And it was a big old nothing burger. It was a big old nothing burger.
I'll lift the mood a little bit.
Try one. Worth a shot.
Bob, you're like a son to me.
You don't have a son.
That's where I'm headed here.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm in the chat here. Go over real quick. Somebody says douche vault. Pagan blue waffle. Still going, I see. You know, I like to shoot. I've been shooting since I was a kid. Get over the whole shooting a real gun thing, Davis. Thought or that Hadron owes taxes. Speaking of, somebody says, speaking of which, where's the cosplay pics go? Can we get something entertaining, please?
Will do.
So somebody says hashtag LARP audit. I guess people are talking about they go to the fucking fence. Let's see. Somebody says, I know some guys that'll do some spiritual enrichment with some BBC. Maybe Hadron Collider wants some. Try being spiritually enriched by reading your Bible. There you go. Let's see. Mayonnaise is not a religion either. Thor is not a religion. Star Wars was in my childhood, but wasn't my childhood. Now Godzilla was my childhood, and it's looking great. Somebody says, sorry for going AWOL, is walking to work. Well, I don't blame you. Thanks for the grub, holy scrub. I've been playing Take a Shot for each Hadron phase. I'm getting more sober than a Muslim in Mecca. Consume the soy candles. Yeah, we were there. Let's see. Ian has a lot of toxic infighting in his story. Let's see. Somebody says terrible. Somebody says, even as I prod, I would wriggle around the subject, and now he wants to stream when you do. Well, technically, he's starting an hour before me, so there's only a bit of an overlap. And let's be real, I don't care, because I don't think we have a significant audience overlap at this point. First of all, I think between now, some of this isn't his fault, but between having to go over to Twitch and joining a pagan cult, which I can't imagine went over well with a lot of his trad Catholic followers, I think Davis has probably decimated his audience between those two things. Combine that with the fact that, I mean, this is two very different shows. You know, do you want to fart huff? You go over to Davis. Do you want to have a good time? You come over here. So yeah, I don't think we have a significant audience overlap. Bechtloff, can we talk about the terrible Kim Possible trailer? I felt so bad for you when I saw it. Yeah, it looked pretty rough. It didn't look as bad as I thought it might be. but it didn't look good. I will say the guy who was playing Dr. Draken, I really like him, and I think he'll probably be the best part of the movie. He was, I can't remember the actor's name, but he was in the Jim Carrey show back in the 90s. He did the voice of Batman in Batman Brave and the Bold. I think he'll do a good job in that.
Oh, it's a Spy Kids lookalike.
Yeah, everything else looks like just B-grade Spy Kids. I don't think we get nearly enough of Ron Stoppable in that trailer. And as far as I could see, we didn't see any Rufus. So, no comic reliefs in there. That's disappointing. It's not as bad as it could have been, but it wasn't. It was. I'm not anxious to see it. Let me put it that way.
So, yeah, where's Ron? Oh, was that him back there?
You briefly see him at one point.
Okay. Why is he not here?
There's one scene towards the end where you see her and Ron, and also Wade's not fat. I don't like Wade not being fat.
Yeah, this is definitely Spy Kids sort of bits.
There's a little bit of Ron, I guess.
No, there he is.
I guess.
Maybe
there. Yeah, the guy playing Dr. Draken, though. I mean, if anything is good in that movie, it'll be him.
There he is.
Yeah, he looks like he's having a good time with it too. You can just tell. You just tell he's hamming it up.
Yeah, there he is. Supervillain's just so fun to play.
He's having a grand old time. I don't know. I'm not feeling the rest of it, I gotta say. So he says, did you play the new Bechtloff Spider game yet, Nintendo Scrub? I did not. I don't own a PS4. So
this is feeling an awful lot like Captain Marvel at this point.
Yeah, I don't.
Strong.
You know what really doesn't look good to me, and I can't even place my finger on why. And a lot of people are saying it's good, so maybe I'm wrong. But the Spider-Man animated movie, Into the Spider-Verse, I can't Here's the thing: I liked the Spider-Verse story that movie's loosely based off of, because I love Spider-Man and I loves me some parallel universe, multiverse stuff. So I liked Spider-Verse a lot. It was one of the few post One More Day Spider-Man stories I thoroughly enjoyed. And I don't know, but all the Spider-Verse trailer, it just, first of all, it looks like it's focusing on Miles way too much, and who the hell cares about him? And I don't know, there's just something about the animation style and all. It just leaves me cold, man.
They have the CGI graphics, but they're using it in 2D framing. It jerks around a lot. So
yeah, it doesn't. It just I can't even 100% put my finger on why, but I just don't think it looks good. Bechtloff, have you heard Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik? Oh, that Sonic live action thing's gonna be a fucking disaster.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah, what a terrible idea from the get-go. It's weird because it's I used to consider myself a Sonic fan, a fan of Sonic. And if you were to look at my game shelf, you'd see a Sonic figure. You'd see a bunch of Sonic games on my Sega thing. You'd see a few trade paperbacks of some of the stories from the Sonic comic, like Sonic Genesis and the Sonic Mega Man crossover and stuff like that. I guess you could say I'm a Sonic fan, but at the same time, the more I look at it, the more I realize I don't like 90% of Sonic shit, period. Here's what I like about Sonic. I like the Genesis era games. I think Sonic 3 and Knuckles is probably one of the greatest 2D platformers ever made. It's probably my favorite game. It's a game I literally go back and play over and over again throughout the years. It's an evergreen game to me. I love it. I like Sonic 1 and 2, even Spinball. I like the first level in Spinball. I don't really like the game after that. The first Game Gear Sonic game's good. And I like Mania a lot of what I played so far. And I really, really like the old Sat AM cartoon with Princess Sally. And I really, really like the Archie comic that it inspired. Everything else about that franchise, I think, has been meh at best and cringy autistic dog shit at worst. Even the stuff that some people will celebrate, like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Oh, they're great. They're great. No, they're not. They suck. They're okay at best.
Well, Sonic 2 was a huge leap ahead with Sonic 1.
What Adventures? The
Oh,
Sonic
no,
Adventure.
no. I mean, no, it's not Sonic Adventure.
There hasn't been a. Let's be real. There hasn't been a really good Sonic 3D game ever.
I mean, you can't really. I mean, because it's just doesn't translate well.
I don't know if there's a fan made game. I think it's called like Sonic Unity, and it's more like a test of concept. And I don't know. I played a little bit of that online, and it has a good feel to it. The problem with a lot of it's not just the broken physics that kills the 3D Sonic games. It's that Team Sonic are not good storytellers. They think they are, and they're gonna spawn these epic yarns, but they're not. All right, like honestly, people shit on like Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Heroes, and yeah, they're not good games, but they're really not much worse than Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. As much as everyone wants to suck those dicks. Okay, I mean, hell, Sonic Forces, the recent one, that's a keen example of like everything wrong with modern Sonic. You got a terrible fucking story. You got broken fucking 3D physics, and hell, you even have a DeviantArt recolor in that fucking game. Like, nah, dude. Sonic Mania is the only Sonic game since the Genesis was discontinued that has been truly good. And again, all the Sonic cartoons have been ass. I mean, except for the Sad AM cartoon. And, Sonic Boom, interestingly enough, is kind of funny. But the rest of them, like Sonic X is dog shit. It's gorgeously animated, but it's dog shit. And then there was one Sonic cartoon where he was in a band with like DeviantArt recolors called Sonic Underground. Like, this franchise is shit. It is like 90% shit, and it's 10% greatness. It's so weird because, like I said, man, Mania is great. The Genesis games are great. Those are undisputed classics. Like I said, the Princess Sally cartoon was fantastic. One of the best kids cartoons of the 90s. The Archie comic it inspired was often amazing, but I just most of this and so the live action movie looks like absolute shit, but I'm also not surprised. I mean, let's see. What we got here? If he posts the link, I'll send shekels. The link to what? Somebody says, why isn't the link in the description? The link to what?
What we just watched?
Yeah, what, to Davis's fucking shit? I don't even have a link to it because it's not a video yet. He has to like finish doing it for it to be a video. We were just watching his Streamlabs channel.
But if you want to see it, I'll give you a link to his channel.
Oh, to my Streamlabs. I don't have a Streamlabs set up for the Bechtloff. Sorry.
Just PayPal or Patreon now.
Yeah, I just have PayPal and Patreon. I had it set up for the Landshark thing because I was using the OBS and stuff, and I don't know. Nobody donated through Streamlabs. Like, I'd get one once in a while, but hell, I got more shit from PayPal and Patreon, and I just never liked using the OBS program. So, but yeah, the live action Sonic. I mean, that's just a terrible fucking idea from the get go. Like, why would anyone want to fucking do that? As JonTron once said, but why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
I'm definitely not liking the quote unquote realistic posters they're posting everywhere.
Oh, it looks awful. It looks fucking awful. Oh, man.
I wonder how fake or real this is. It was just like an artist rendering.
Supposedly that was something that was used to sell it to like executives. Which, I mean, what executive looked at that and was like, "Yes, let me cut you a check."
And so the artist renditions of the poster have gone all over the place, of course.
Oh man, it just looks fucking awful.
I mean, Sonic does not need realistic-looking legs.
Like, why?
Are they blue? Are they painted blue now?
Yeah, his arms blue. I don't know.
Yeah, his arms look pretty blue from this angle.
Somebody says they ruined him. Sonic was ruined before they got there, in all fairness. I'm gonna just pretend like it doesn't exist. I mean, I'm certainly not gonna go see that shit in a theater. Let's wait. Marvel movies. I haven't been to the theater in years, aside from Marvel movies, and I haven't even seen all those. I didn't get to see the second Ant-Man in the theater. I didn't watch Black Panther in the theater. I probably not gonna watch Captain Marvel in the theater. I mean, hell, I might not watch Captain Marvel at all. So
yeah, the next Avengers movie looks good though.
Yeah, the Avengers 4 looks good. Shazam, the DC movie, looks pretty damn good.
That's fun. That's fun.
Aquaman, I'm kind of cautiously optimistic about. I don't know if I'll go to the theater, but I do want to check it out when it's on DVD. Somebody says, I want to see Eastwood's new movie. Oh, yeah, The Mule. I kind of want to see that, but not enough to go to the theaters.
Let's see what the critics have to say about that.
Somebody says, did you see Mediker's latest stream about how insane Christian has become? I caught a little bit of his stream on YouTube, but I didn't catch any of his Stream.me stuff. I was busy bracing for the attack on Bechtloff's Outpost that never came.
Goose egg, yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Let's see.
I'm disappointed, man. I thought he was gonna, like, he's pissed off. He's fucking pissed. Whatever.
Well, the Mule's getting some good reviews.
It looks good.
And the audience it's slightly more liked than the critics.
Here's the other thing, though. Like, I want to say, okay, now I'm done talking about the free folk. But let's be real. They're going to do more dumb shit, and y'all are going to send it to me. So, I mean, I don't have any further plans on fucking with the free folk, but we'll see. We'll see how badly they continue to shit their pants. Somebody says, what comic book adaptation would you want Mel Gibson to direct? Well, now that you mention it, I've long wanted a fucking Question movie. The Steve Ditko character. And Mel's pretty fucking woke, pretty fucking right wing. He'd do a good job with that. Did you see the Christmas movie with Kurt Russell as Santa? I did not. Christian believes that in 2 days the fictional universe is going to merge with reality and only the pure will survive. Oh, okay. Cool. I guess then all the dumb shit the free folks believes will finally be real. Let's see. There was a rumor going around he was going to direct Suicide Squad 2. Mel Gibson? I doubt that. I that doesn't sound like that would happen. I never saw Suicide Squad 1, though. I never had any interest in it. The DC movies are pretty fucking rough. I think I saw Batman vs Superman and regretted wasting time on it. And I saw Wonder Woman and liked it, but I didn't even bother seeing Justice League. I didn't even bother with the rest of them. So he says Suicide Squad was the best of them. Then that's not saying much. Come on, there's no way it was better than Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was damn good. Man, that was a big old disappointment. That was a big old letdown. I thought for sure that they were gonna bring the hot shit.
Nah.
Which I of course didn't think they were gonna bring the hot shit, but I thought they were gonna try. and it was going to be funny to watch him. Well, like I said before, guys, I will reiterate what I said. No Christian has any business involved in this. And I mentioned this earlier in the stream, and I'll mention it again. Because I know I'm pissing you off, Davis. I know you're going to listen to this. You might be listening live for all I know. Now that you're off the air. But I know you're going to listen to it. So, and I know it's pissing you off. I know it's pissing you off, man. That's not really the primary purpose, although it is a delightful side effect. But I know it's pissing you off. But here's the deal. I'll make you a deal, Davis. And we would have to both agree on it, but I think we could agree on it. I love that picture with Velma looking at Daphne's ass there. That's a delightful look. But find a right-wing Protestant, a right-wing Orthodox, and a right-wing Catholic, kind of YouTube personality. I was thinking maybe Dalrock for the Protestant slot. Somebody else suggested another one to me. I'm kind of blanking on their name. But that could be worked out. For the Catholic and Orthodox slots, respectively, I would think Nick Fuentes and Jay Dyer are the obvious choices there. And have them overlook all the free folk stuff, the website, and whatever else information you want them to see. And see if they sign off on it. And if you could get 2 out of 3 of them to sign off on it, I would drop the subject forever. I'll put that in writing if you want, buddy. I'll drop the subject forever. Forever. The 3 major branches of Christianity, Protestant, Catholic, Orthodox. You get 2 out of 3 because, as Meatloaf's saying, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 3 of them to say, yes, this free folk thing is something that a Christian should be involved in. I'll drop the subject forever. Now, I mean, you're not going to take me up on that offer because I'd be amazed if you got 1 out of 3. And I'll reiterate what I said. A Christian has no business being involved in this group. Frankly, anyone who isn't a LARPy faggot has no business being involved in this group. But a Christian, a follower of Christ, has no business being involved in this group. And I will reiterate, I'll say it again. If you are involved in this group and you're a Christian, what I want you to do, I want you to take all the information about this group and you go to your pastor or your small group leader or your priest or an elder in your church or just some brother in Christ in your church who's further along in his walk than you. You show him this stuff and you say, is this something I should be involved in? I would ask Davis point blank, does your priest know anything about this shit? What's his opinion on all this? You're in a pagan cult, dude. I know. I'm such a jerk, and I'm just laughing at stuff. You're in a pagan cult. Ooh, I like that. Bikini picture there. That's delightful. All of those are delightful. You should throw those up on the Discord. But yeah, you're in a pagan cult, dude. Somebody says, I wouldn't call what Davis did a cock tease since he had no intention of attacking you in the stream in the first place based on him avoiding the topic when it was ever mentioned. Well, the reason I was under the impression is supposedly he was out there talking a boatload of shit to a bunch of people about how he was going to lay the smackdown on me Sunday. So, yeah. And I'm not going to name who said this to me, but I have no reason to doubt them. Let's see. Somebody says, go on the Kumite or the Ralph retort. Well, look, Ralph's a little too big right now to have. Davis and I are both pretty small time. Maybe like the Weekly Sweat would have us on, but let's be real, Davis would never do that. Come on, man, he wouldn't. No, he knows he'd get his shit pushed in. Somebody asks, are Hadrian and Davis making money off this free folk thing? I don't know. don't know. Perhaps one might ask the IRS that, but I don't know. I suspect that that's part of the intention. I don't know if they're actually doing it though. Somebody says Tonka Saw is desperate for content. Yeah, maybe I could go on Donga's show. You know, he's desperate to increase those super berries. So he says Velma got them hips. Yep, she's thick. Somebody says his priest is busy with the choir boys.
Ooh.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Well, like I said, this was a big old cock tease. You know, I don't know. I might not even keep this up. I might not even keep this stream up. We'll see. All right, folks. Thank you all for listening. You know, I'm sorry we didn't get the fireworks tonight. I thought we were going to, but you know, them's the breaks. And if you enjoy the content I put out, you can check out the the PayPal, Patreon, and Amazon wish list. That all helps me keep doing what I'm doing. And yeah, I want to thank you all for listening. And that's all we got for tonight, folks. Bechtloff out.